Hello, everyone. We'll be starting in next 5 minutes. So, hello and good. So, hello and good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for being part of today's session. My name is Janvi Punjabi, and I'm from Team Zzoko, and your moderator for today's session. We, the team of Zzoko, are really glad to host you all today, and we hope you have an enriching experience today. So before we start, it's time for to know our audience a little better. And so it's time, I think we should break the ice. So I will ask you a few questions and you all can put your answers in the chat box so that me and my team knows you a little better and we could give you a better experience. So I think we have 71 people as of now. So we'll start talking. So you guys can tell me which cities do you all belong to? Like just write it in the chat box which cities are you all from and I'll read it from there. Okay, we have people from Durgapur, Nagpur. That's great. We have Mumbai, Jamshedpur, Mathura, Bathinda. Wow, we have like a varied audience. That's great. New Delhi, Bangalore, Vadodara, Bhopal, Ambala, Mumbai. That's great. That's really nice. Kolkata, Chittor. That's really amazing. I hope all of you guys are doing really great and we are here to make your day greater than before. Okay, I will go ahead to my second questions. So you all can tell me, are you all students or are you all working? Like, how's it? Are you all working or are you all students? Put it in the chat box so I'll know that. Student. Oh, seems we have working in a startup. Oh, that's great. Student working. I see we have a lot of students here. That's great. Final year student, Bhupinder Singh, student, Nitesh, student. Great. Thank you all of you students to spare your time and coming here. We'll make sure that it is like an rememberable experience for all of you. Okay, so I'm sure like everybody of us knows about COVID. So most of you might be working from home or studying from home. So tell me, how is it for you all? Like, did you all like home studying and home working, or do you all prefer the offline part of it? Just put online or offline, and I'll guess which one do you all like. Offline, huh? Offline, offline, offline again. Rashmi, Preetam, Sharmishta, Gagan. Offline would be better, but exams are great. Online exams are much easier. I agree. Shreya, Sonu Singh offline, Anil offline. Great. I will agree on that part. Even I like offline, but again, exams online are much easier to score as well. Okay, so then we'll go to the next question. So tell me one new thing all of you all learned in COVID. Like you all were home for like past 1 year. So how has it been? What have you learned? Tell me something new you learned. Discovering new hobbies. Nice. Realme 2 Pro, I would request you to please put your name so it becomes much easier. Ajay, finance management, spirituality. Wow, that's great. How to spend your alone time, Ashmita. Digital marketing, sales, communication. Wow. Cooking and personality development. Wow, that is great. I need to learn from you guys. You'll have learned a lot of different things. SQL and digital marketing. Great. Coding and cooking. Wow. So we have like a very smart and interactive audience here today. I'm sure that we are gonna have like a really great time with all of you. Great, great. So okay, let's go. You cannot hear audio, guys. Can you all hear me? Just put me a thumbs up if you're if somebody who cannot. If you all can hear me, put a thumbs up in the chat box. Okay, so the person who could not hear me, I think there's some problem with your mic, so you might want to check that, and I'm sure you could hear us then. Okay, so you all learned these things in COVID, so now we'll talk about one major thing you all missed during the COVID period. Come on, tell me, what did you miss? Don't tell me bahar ka khana. I'm sure a lot of people might have missed that, but apart from that, tell me, what did you really miss? College life, social interaction, friends. College. Oh, I see most of the people have missed their friends in college. Oh, hostel life, industrial visits, chit chat. That's great. Hangouts, hostel life, pocket money. Okay. Great, you guys. Anything new we've done with that question? I see most of the people. Oh, I have a one person who's saying my family. You missed your family. I'm sorry to hear that. As in, you might be living alone, so that's bad. But no worries. I think everything has become better now, so everybody can get out, meet their friends, enjoy, have food, have dinner and lunches outside. Okay. So, what would be one travel destination you will go? Like first travel destination. The sooner all these things get better, which would be that one place you would like going? I would like going Goa. Tell me about yours. Darjeeling, Shillong, Ladakh. Oh my God, Kashmir, Chennai. Everybody wants to go to cool places, is it? Meghalaya, Bihar, Kashmir. Come on, guys, tell me more. Come on. Switzerland. Oh wow, Abhishek. Jaipur, Shimla, Rajasthan. Great. Canada. Oh, Canada is great place to go to. I am also gonna go there. To my college friends. Okay. Udaipur, Paris. Oh my God. Wow. Andaman, Nicobar, Las Vegas. I think you mean Switzerland. Great destination, guys. You all have like great choices of destination, I must say. No worries. What? Okay, now come on. Tell me your expectations from our sessions. So we've been working really hard for you guys, and I hope you'll love this session. So I really want to know what would be your expectations out of these speaker sessions from all of us. Come on, guys, tell me what do you all want? What do you all expect from us? There might be something, right? Learn something new, interesting, useful. Others, there are only two people typing. Come on, guys, make the session more interactive. Any special skill set? Great. I'm sure you're going to take that one. Learn soft skills, certificate. Wow, I'm sure a lot of the students here are for certificates. I agree. New ideas of starting business. Wow. Communication skills, speaking skills, which I lack. Don't worry, you're going to learn that, I'm sure. We have a good panel of experts here. Freelancing. Okay. Some knowledgeable thing which would be helpful for career. Wow. Business, design thinking, something related to career, startups. Great, you guys. You're going to learn all of that. So don't worry. I promise all of you might be taking something or the other from this session. I'm assure you that. Okay, now the last but not the least, one last question, and I want everybody to, reply really soon and with all the excitement. Tell me, how excited are you for today's session? If you all are very excited or only excited, put excited, very excited, super excited, put all of this in the chat box. Come on, show me all the excitement so that even I get more excited, I can host a little much better for you guys. Pratik Grover, thank you so much. Very excited, super excited. Super excited. Great, great, you guys. Very excited, fully excited. Super, se bhi upar wala excited. Wow, that's great. Really excited, as excited for the KGF chapter 2. Oh my God, that is really a good compliment for all of us. Ultimate excited for the session. Okay, you guys seem to be very excited. So I will, okay, so I will start in the next 2 minutes. Till then, you all can, what you all can do? You all can put your age. Come on, tell me what age are you guys? Tell me your age, or if you all want to just tell me anything. 21, 90, 20, 20, 19, 19, 21, 20. Oh my God, there are too many 19s here. Great, great. $19. Okay, great, great. So sorry for that connectivity issue. No worries. Okay, so you all seem to be too excited. So we will not waste your time and we will start. Okay, so let's start with the race. Can you all see my screen by any chance? Just give me a thumbs up in the chat box if you all can see it. Great. Very nice, very nice. Okay. Great, great, great. Everybody can see it. Okay, so we have 100 participants and now is the right time for me to start. So just before we start today's session, here are a few basic things and basic instructions I would want all of you to follow because it becomes very important. So raise your hand if you want to speak. Do not speak, do not use foul language. Do not interrupt when the speaker or the other participant is speaking. Do not spam the chat box. It becomes really difficult for us to read all the messages because we're a small team. So if you all want us to notice your chats, please don't spam it. Fill the feedback back form. This is really, really important, you guys. If you all don't fill the feedback form towards the end, you will not be able to get the e-certificates. So it's really necessary for you to fill the feedback form. Apart from that, one pro tip I will give you guys, this is not in the instructions part, but I would like to give it to you all. If you all really want to get the maximum benefits out of these sessions, make sure you all keep answering the way you all answered me right now. Make the speaker feel welcomed and keep asking your questions, make notes. And, there are some points which might be important and you all would want to remember further. So it's really great if you all interact and ask questions. So it will really be helpful for the speaker as well as for you. Okay. Okay. So I will tell you about today's agenda. If you all can see it. 1 second. Yeah. So today's agenda, we would first have introduction. I will tell you what is Zzoko. I'm sure you have joined this grand launch event, the mega launch, but you don't really have the clear idea of what Zzoko could be. So I will give you like a brief of what it is, and it will really be helpful for all of you all. The second thing would be the first speaker, Mr. Rohan Shah, which is going to be on design thinking. And I'm sure you're going to love it. I have heard him personally in a lot of sessions, and he's one of the greatest speakers out there. And I'm sure you're going to learn a lot from him. So make sure you'll note and keep all of your points ready to ask him. Then we have a break. Okay. We have a break. before. In that break, y'all, I will request y'all to drink water and all of that, but don't miss, because we are going to have like some exciting games and challenges for you all in the break, which has a lot of gifts. I will not tell y'all now. I will keep the enthusiasm and excitement and mystery right now. I'll tell y'all in between the break. The next we have Dr. Sapna Narayan, and she's going to talk about mastering small talk. So it is again about self-development, soft skills, and how do you make a conversation. So it is very important for you guys, and even for us, the team, like me, for it is very important for all of us to be a part of that session. Then we have one more break for you guys. Again, a lot of challenges, a lot of games, and a lot of fun and gifts, of course. And I will promise you the gift you is something which you're not expecting, and you might get the gift right now, like in a few minutes, in hours, like in this period of 3 hours, you will get the gift right now at your house. So stay updated with that. We next have, in the end, we have Mr. Manjeet Motiram, which is a problem solving session. You will really love it, because problem solving is something, it is very important for all of us to know how to solve our problems in daily life. So you better attend that session as well. Okay, so we move ahead. Now I will tell you about Zzoko. Just give me a thumbs up again if you all can see my screen. Just put a thumbs up, guys. Great, 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 great. Okay, so we will start. So before we start, let me tell you about us and our beautiful journey. Okay, talking about Zzoko now. The name itself is so intriguing, right? The meaning of the word Zzoko is passion. And we, the Zzoko's team, have come up with passion and desire to build an expert advisory ecosystem. I feel most of you would be interested in knowing how, correct? When and why and did the Zzoko happen? Even if you all are not, I myself am very excited to tell you and to rather show you the birth of Zzoko. So let's see a quick slideshow about that. Last year, when the pandemic was announced, we were all shut in our houses. All the business was shut. We were locked at our homes. And that's when all of this started. In an attempt to try out something useful and valuable for people, we started conducting live sessions and interviews by independent experts such as image consultants, nutritionists, and many more. Experts were elated to team up, and they were mostly freelancers without a big team. So it was really difficult for them to reach out to people except for these sessions. They were so excited with the idea that live interviews would promote them and their big clients. Their excitement was out first, and hint that was basically our first hint that the sessions were an excellent idea. Soon after that, people actually started asking us about how they can reach out to those experts and take one-to-one consultations. This was our second hint that our idea is working great. As the days passed, we realized that the challenge from the end was both from the end of experts as well as the clients. People faced a lot of problems finding the right guidance for their problems. And the challenges were not limited to the specific sectors, but widespread across every sector, including MSMEs, students, corporates, wedding couples, manufacturing, hospitality, everything. This was the third and final hint that we are now going to solve these challenges and that we are going right. And then we proactively started to pursue this and created the Zzoko platform. So the finally Zzoko platform was created, you guys. The development journey and has a lot of ups and downs since the past 1.5 years. However, we are really proud that we have sailed through all of this. And today, we're delighted to announce you our launch. So guys, now I'm going to show you our launch video. Okay, so stay tuned and see this launch video. Okay, I'll just start. 1 second. Can you all, could you all hear the music?
Yes, Jan.
Okay, great. 1 second, I will just. Uh, 1 second, guys. Could you all see the video? Just put a thumbs up. I will just get back. Yes. So did you guys like the video? Could you all understand of what Zzoko is and how it goes? Uh, 1 second. Great. Okay, so now you'll know what was the journey and how it all came into being. Now I will tell you what exactly Zzoko is so that you all know how it works and how the platform works. So you all can actually use the platform for your purpose. So with over 1.5 years of ideation and brainstorming, we have been successful in building a platform that aims at bridging the gap between people who are looking for experts and experts wanting to share their knowledge and expertise. We have a mission to transform the expert advisory industry and develop an expert marketplace, which will be a one-stop solution to all your personal and professional expert requirements. We have over 40 categories and several experts to assist you with everything and anything. Just name the category, and we have the best lineup of experts for you to choose from. From career to health and nutrition, Zoko's experts know them all. We have a wide range of experts from individual categories. You do not have to travel miles to talk to these experts. This is actually a cherry on the cake because we have got these experts closer to you. Take consultations from them on all your personal and professional requirements at the comfort of your home. Okay, now you know about Zzoko. So I will keep 2 minutes for you to download the app. Anybody who's interested to download the app and take the services, the app is now online. We have both the QR codes here, the iOS and the Android. So you all can download the app. I'll keep it for 2 minutes here. And then I'll move ahead. Great, Sahana. I'm so happy that you're already downloading. Guys, come on, be as sport as Sahana is. And guys, am I audible? Because there's one person who's saying I'm not. Yes, I'm audible. Sanika, you might want to check your connection because everybody else says that I'm audible enough. Okay. Guys, it's 16:16. I give you 2 more minutes. Till you all are downloading, I give you 2 minutes and then I'll tell you about the event in detail. And then we will talk to our first expert and invite him. Great. Okay, we will now move ahead. We would not want the expert to wait. So just a small explanation about Zzoko Mega Launch. So this is going to be a 8-day event, 2 weekends and 2 weekdays each. And you all can attend this event from the Zoom app. We're going to have 24 different speakers talking about 24 different topics. And you will also be getting e-certificates. But we also have a cherry on the cake here that you all get a lot of challenges. You all get a lot of gifts. You all get a lot of different ebooks and a lot of different gifts, goodies, and there are a lot more benefits for you to attend this session. So it would be really great if you all follow the social medias of Zzoko on LinkedIn and Instagram, because today in the first break, and oh, I see, it seems Sahana knows the gifts already. But anyway, so in the first break and the second break of this event, we are going to have 2 games for you all and which have on the spot prizes. So you might want to download not download, follow the Instagram and Zoko's LinkedIn. So you guys better do that. And about this event, we also have a surprise in the end. And this is going to be 20, like I said, it is going to be about self-development, finance, social media, mental health, soft skills, and many more. So stay tuned and attend all sessions. Now let's get to our first speaker of the day, is Mr. Rohan Shire.
Hi,
Okay.
I'm here. Hi.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I will just give me 2 minutes and we'll be done. Okay, so we first have Mr. Rohan Shah as our speaker. Mr. Rohan Shah is an entrepreneur, well regarded and in demand design thinking and future thinking consultant, and a renowned speaker. He is the founder and CEO of Headweek Innovations, a design thinking and innovations consulting firm. With an experience of 15 years, he has helped several top organizations with their digital transformation, business transformation, process improvement, and design initiatives. Mr. Rohan strongly believes in the continuous learning. Therefore, he is highly involved in academics. He completed his master's in product development engineering from the University of Southern California. He is currently a visiting faculty at Ahmedabad Management Association for diploma courses in healthcare and management. He also conducts workshops across industries to create awareness about the concept of design thinking and future thinking. We are so happy to have you, sir, and thank you for your time. And over to you. You can take it over. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Janvi. That was very nice of you to introduce. So let's not. So first of all, welcome everyone. I'm really honored to have so many, such a huge number of participants, and I'm really excited. I'm seeing that everyone is so interactive, so that makes me more energetic throughout because especially for the instructor, when the participants interact with them, it becomes so much easy, and that actually brings more energy to for me as well. So let's not wait any longer, and let me just share my screen, and I will get started immediately. Okay, so I have created the theme is called the decoding the future, because I'm very personally why I focus on the future so much, because first of all, I'm very optimistic for the future. I always believe that future is very good, and future is in our hand. We are the creator of our own future, and if we take the right action today, we can create the better future for us as well as for our future generations. Because and that is why I'm going to give you the thought process, the thinking approach, that how we can decode the future with the use of an approach or a method called design thinking. Okay, so let's before we talk about design thinking, before we get into the details of design thinking, let's talk about why it is so important. Because if you have I'm sure that in last 1.5 year of all these pandemics, there are so many webinars, so many online sessions, so many articles you might have come across, and everybody talks about innovation. Everybody talks about disruptive things. Let's disrupt this. Let's disrupt this. Everybody talks about creativity. Why so much importance is given to innovation? Why so much importance is given to design today? Why so much importance is given to technology or digitization or imagination or creativity? Where this is coming from? How this has come together? Okay, so let's talk about that. So I want to start with going back a little bit back in the history, and from that we'll come to the present time. Okay, so if I want to go back all the way to 18th century, when the industries were first born, okay, that was the first industrial revolution happened. That time the first industries were started, or the manufacture has started, and that time, earlier days, very nascent stage of the industry, they were using the steam engines and machinization as a source of energy to produce something. Of course, productivity is less because the power is limited. It was all mechanical. It was all the source of energy is a steam engine. So the power was less, but again, the productivity, then eventually they have realized that demand is increasing. They have a problem to solve now. They said, if we do not increase the productivity, things might be difficult. So what happens is, in 19th century, the second revolution came. That time, the electrical energy has replaced the steam engines, and the birth of the mass production happens. People can able to start producing in mass. That was huge revolution in the industry. That was a huge change in the industry. That was the second revolution happened. So first problem solved to increase the productivity. Now come to the third revolution in 20th century, which is an early 70s. Now we have productivity. What is important now? Quality. Productivity, yes, we can produce in a mass, but can we achieve the same precision every time? No. Can we achieve the same quality every time? No. So that is where the automation started playing a very critical role. And industries have started using computerizations and automations in the industries. And what they achieved is the precision. What they achieved is accuracy. What they achieved is quality. And all these things was a huge change and impact in the industrial revolution. Now let's come to today. Quality is no longer an option today. It's become a commodity. Everybody has to think, everybody has to give a quality. Everyone has to follow that quality, give the better product, better services. Okay, but now machines with the technology, with the internet, everything. I would request participants, please do not do annotations. Okay, thank you. With the technology in place now, machines can also able to start talking to each other. Data gets started producing lots of data, and using those data, machines itself, using the machine learning technology, using the artificial intelligence technology, they can start making the decision on our behalf. Machines can, all the repetitive task which is being done in the industry is replaced by computers. The question is here, if every repetitive task is replaced by computers, if the decisions are also made by computers, what is left for humans to do? What is left for you to do when you grow up? I know I was reading the chat. Majority of you fall under the age range of 19 to 25 to maximum 30, right? So you have a huge, very important future still coming ahead for you. What is there? What is left for you to do it? What is important? How will you achieve the future or the desired future, or how will you create the future? Because every job, every task is being replaced by computers. Even decisions are by computers using the data analytics, using the machine learning and AIs and so forth, so and so forth. What is left is your imagination. What is left is your thought process. No computer can able to replicate your imagination. This is the whole point, that this industry is now today focus on imaginations, because if you can imagine, all the technology is already here. Technology is there. Everything is connected. It's all about, can you imagine and can you connect those dots together? Like if you talk about applications, there are smartphones, there are GPS technologies, everything is there. And we will talk about, only thing is, if you can imagine, if you can identify the right problem, only thing what you have to do is you have to simply connect your dots and make it happen. I'll take an example of Zzoko itself. When I get connected with Zzoko for the very first time, when I was and I asked and we were talking about that, we want to get on the platform and we talk about the experts and everything. What I asked is, what is the value proposition? What is the importance of? And what I found is that so I was talking to the founder of Zzoko, Mr. Bharat, and he said that there was a lot of challenges in terms of trainers, terms of freelancers, terms of experts. And with the globalization, it is very easy to connect. We have to find a way to connect these experts to the global platform. And not only that, the students, if there is a way to connect to the global experts, why the students have to be restricted to their own geographical location? Let's say I was seeing in the chat, there were people from Assam, from Chennai, from Delhi, and I'm here sitting in Ahmedabad still talking to. So now the remotest place of the country, the the any city from the country can take an advantage of any experts across the globe. So what do we understand? It is understanding, identifying the challenge, and connecting those pieces, and imagining that how can I solve this problem. Okay, and that was the this is we are currently going through the fourth industrial revolution. And fourth industrial revolution talks only about rather creative thinking, your imagination, and imagination for the future. And how do we imagine, how do we design the future? We will talk about how do we decode all these future. But I hope this is very clear. I hope this why this is so important. Give me yes if this makes sense. I give me thumbs up, or give me if okay. Okay, perfect. Super, super, super. Okay, now let's be creative for a while. Okay, let's be creative for a while. I want you to think about the ultimate desk. Okay, so simply put your in the chat box. Simply put your imagination that if you have to create your own desk, if you have to, I'm sure you have a study desk. I'm sure you must be sitting in a desk, or right now you are sitting in a desk in front of a laptop. If you have to imagine your ultimate desk, that if I have all the money in the world, if I have to redesign my own desk, if I have to, I would have these features, or I would love to have these type of a desk. Design your desk and put it in the chat, and I want to see what type of an idea comes to your mind. Okay, so just what is important is your imagination. Again, remember this. I'm going to give you 1 minute to just start typing your ideas. Just imagine sustainable bamboo desk and a collapsible. Very nice. Sahana, anybody else? Okay, a few more ideas. Come on. You are what, 112 people. So hologram kind of a desk. Very nice, Ankit. I really like it. Yeah. Okay. My desk with all of AI. Very nice. Okay. Glossy finish. You would like glossy finish? I am a more of a matte guy. So, all right. Nice, Priya. An aquarium, plant pot, and foldable maybe. I'm sure you are a nature lover, Suparna. Very nice. Desk with lot of RGB lights. Okay. I really desk full of technology. Superb. Okay. Now, so I have, for Gagan says, desk with multiple compartments using new technologies, and set up some book storage, desk with Saraswati on it, all the organizers. Fantastic. This is all beautiful. Okay, now let's get into the detail. What happened and what is cognitive fixedness? Cognitive fixedness is a state of our mind. Okay, and so while I was doing this, so you have read everyone's idea. I have done this exercise thousands of times earlier. I have this experiments thousands of times earlier. And every time I get some of the other different results. Somebody says desk with voiceover instructions. I've got an idea from one person. One guy said, I want a private gym and a swimming pool near my desk. So whenever I want to have a quick exercise, I can do it. If I want to have a quick dive onto a swimming pool and just relax for a while, it just has to be right next to my desk. One guy said that I want a desk with inbuilt table as a screen. So table itself should be a screen. So like a touch screen, and he can do it all stuff. So this is the idea I've got it from one guy. One guy says, I want a massaging chair. So, whenever I want a massage, the chair should give me a massage. Okay. One guy said that it has to be a desk with surrounding changes with the mood. So like, he wants the entire surround changes. Like, one day he feels that he is not in a mood and he wants to sit in a beach of Maldives
So we cannot hear you.
Okay, sorry, I don't know how I got muted, but anyways. So now let's talk about the cognitive fixedness. What does it mean and how does it relate to our desk exercise and what just happened? Cognitive fixedness is a state of our mind which we normally, all our imagination, if you have looked at it, all our imagination have either come from our nature, our past, our experience, what we have seen, what our knowledge possesses, but not our imagination. Okay. We always look at the object as a one single object in a very specific manner. Okay. In a very specific manner, and we do not consider as an alternative. When I say what does it mean? So now think about this. When I talk about desk itself, I have talked about that. Think about the desk. What we have done is we have considered the desk portion itself. Now, all of you people, let me ask you one question before I explain it. All of you who have designed the desk, all of you who have answered me, how many of you have the desk which is a flat surface, still a flat surface? Everything else is okay, but the desk itself is still a flat surface. Everyone, yeah. Nobody has questioned that why desk has to be flat. Have you questioned it? Because this is called a cognitive fixedness, because we always think desk has to be flat, there is no other things. We attach, we keep those desk and the flat surface as a one object. The moment we break those things, the moment we ask the function itself, the question, the function itself, that why desk has to be flat, there are a lot of other imagination automatically starts trigger. Just think about it. Now, since I've said it, isn't your thought process started again? Isn't your thought process triggered again? Why desk has to be flat? What is the function of a desk? A place where I get my work done. Now, if I keep that function as my objective, and if I want to design my desk, can I have a lot more other imagination? Yes, I can. The whole point I'm trying to make is this cognitive fixedness is the biggest roadblock of our imagination. The moment you come out of this, the moment you think of an alternative, the moment you break that fixedness, that, and focus on the functions, just because it is happening since last 50 years, 100 years, that doesn't qualify it to be true. It is there for 100 years. Still, I have a question. I'm still questioning the very existence of it, that why it's supposed to be like this. Can I redesign it all the way differently? The moment you question it, you have an opportunity to innovate. Otherwise, what now think about it, what we have done is, instead of an innovation, what we have done is an improvisation. Because you have kept the desk as it is, as a flat surface, but instead of that, you have what you have designed is the surroundings. So instead, in the name of innovation, majority of the time, what we do is we end up having an improvisation. And absolutely, there is absolutely nothing wrong in improvisation. It is important to improvise. What is important is we should just know, are we innovating or are we improvising? Okay. So the greatest example of the breaking the cognitive fixedness is the Uber and Airbnb. Now think about Uber. The guy who wants to, a person who wants to get into the taxi business, one of the first I don't know why I keep getting unmute. The host muted you, it says that. So please, host, please do not mute me. All right, thank you. Okay, so let me comment again. The biggest example of this cognitive fixedness or breaking this cognitive fixedness is Uber and Airbnb. Now, Uber being into a taxi business, the guy, think about it, that let's say a common guy who thinks about that if I want to get into the business of a taxi, one of the first thing I need to do is the huge investment of buying the fleet of taxi or a fleet of cars. But he says, why can't I use the existing resources of people which is already an available asset? How can I do the business of taxi without buying a taxi? Now, that's a very rhetorical question. That is called breaking this cognitive fixedness, or a breaking this mindset of a cognitive fixedness. Similarly, think about the Airbnb. Airbnb, a guy who wants to get into the real estate business, a guy who wants to get into the hotel business, what is the first thing comes to the mind is to buy the property, to buy the hotel. But now he says that how can I not buy the hotel and still be the largest real estate industry in the world? How can I use the existing resources? And the moment they break the mindset of a cognitive fixedness, they are one of the largest innovators, or one of the largest, the unicorns, or one of the biggest companies in the world today. So in order to, now you all are students who have, as I said, you have a lot of huge future ahead of you. Or even if you are, I'm sure there are some entrepreneurs, there are some corporate executives, CEOs are also here in this platform. Now, if you think about this, you also have to think about from your perspective that how do I take my organization ahead? How can I break the rut, the common rut, or the common myths? Or am I doing whatever am I doing since last 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, 5 years, whatever the duration you have been working? Can I question that? Can it be done differently? Can I design it different? Do I have the ability to imagine again? That is the questions we need to ask ourselves. Okay? Because if you can imagine, you can create it. Okay? So what is important is question the basic. Just because it is there for last, I'm repeating myself here again, just because it is there since last 4 decades, that does not qualify it to be true. It still can be redesigned. If only important is, do you have the ability to question it? Can you think about questioning that basis? Okay, or do you have a courage to question it? Okay, improvisation, innovation. Always understand the difference between improvisation and innovation. And pushing your imagination, because the more you imagine, now think about it, all the solution which comes to you initially, those comes from your past, those come from your knowledge, those come from your experience, those comes from your problems you have faced, those come from your surroundings, your geographical locations. The moment you finish those, then you start thinking. That is where it comes from, the imagination. Okay, I'll give you a few other examples how to make a decision and how to push your imagination. Majority of the people now, a lot of time we say that Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, they are very visionary guy, or Dhirubhai Ambani was a very visionary guy, or we use this term visionary quite often. What does visionary means? What does visionary really means? Do they able to see the future? And do they have that power to see the future? No, they do not. They also like us, but they take the decision in the present looking at the future. Majority of us take the present looking at the past, that I have had this experience in the past, I know it didn't go again, let me not take the risk again. Majority of the decision is based on our past experience. We use as an analytical thinking, that I have tried this, it never worked, I don't think so, I want to do it again. You know what, I have tried this, or he has already tried this idea and he failed, let's not get into it, let's learn from it. Of course, learning is important, but the failure of the past should not be the barrier to make the decision in the future. In fact, your present decision should be from looking at the future, that in the future I am imagining this to be happened, or in the future I would like, this is how the way, like Zzoko has imagined, that I want the whole experts and the students to come on a single platform, and this is I want it, this is I want to happen this way. He did not predict it that it might happen this way and let me be the first one. He imagined that this is how we should make it happen. This is how we can really disrupt the consulting industry. This is how we should create the future of experts or future of consulting or future of education. But this is how the future should look like. He imagined the future and he created a platform. So it's all about pushing your imagination, looking at the future. When you design something, your vision to the future is important. Okay. Now, let me get into a design thinking a little. What is design thinking as a definition? Okay. And then we'll get into a little bit of the process and so on and so forth. Design thinking is nothing but a problem solving approach. Okay. Now, designers do not search for the solution. As a design thinker, if I've been practicing design thinking since last 15 years, and we never ever focus on the solution until we have really determined what the real problem is. We normally go to the root cause of the problem. We focus on the research, because greatest solution only happens when you solve the problem from the root. When you solve the problem from the people. I always say that even if you have the problem in the business, even if you have the problem in your career, convert into the human problem. Translate that into the human problem and then try to solve it. Your thought process will be very different. Right? So do not search for a solution until you determine the real problem. Focus only, do the research that why this problem happened at the very first place. Not what is the problem, but why this problem occurred at the first place. Now, let's say you assume that you have done your research, you have the answer that why this problem has come to the very first place. Now, instead of still solving the problem, first consider all the possible solutions. Then, okay, now let's explore ourselves to understand what all the possible solutions are. So let's brainstorm, push your imagination. As I said, push your imagination. Think from the future perspective, break your thoughts, come out of this cognitive fixedness, come out of the cognitive biases of our thought process, and imagine all the different possible solutions. Once you have all the solutions, let's say you have imagined 50, 100 solutions on the table, you have it. Now it's time to converge. Now it's time to narrow down on your proposal and find out that which solutions works the best or which solutions gives you the best results and solves that human problem. This entire process of deep diving into the problem itself from the human perspective, brainstorming the different ideas, pushing your imagination, and converging to the final solution, that entire process is design thinking process. And this includes out-of-the-box thinking. This includes your breaking the cognitive biasness. This includes your creative thought process. This improves your imagination. This includes your collaboration. This includes your co-creation. Everything included. Okay, clear on the definition? Give me yes. Give me yes if this is clear. This is important, guys. Okay, if you understand, see, design thinking is extremely intriguing and very beautiful subject. If you really understand the concept, if you really understand the human-centeredness, that why being human-centric, why having an empathy is so important. Okay, so if you have got this, okay, perfect. I see a lot of yeses. That makes me happy. Super. Okay, now let's talk about the process. What the design thinking process itself. Now, design thinking, so we talked about design thinking process. Let's break it down into a design thinking process a little, and then we'll talk about the applications about designing the future, how to decode it, okay? Design thinking future is, it's basically divided into the three phases. One is inspiration. The first is always inspiration. If you want to design the future, you need to be inspired about it. You need to have that problem understood and you need to feel that problem. You should be really motivated that, you know what, I really want to solve this problem because this is important for the people. Just like in the inception days of Zzoko, when I was talking to Bharat, he was inspired by this very idea that we need to solve this. This is important. We need to give platform to the people across the globe. We need to help our students across the country who can able to leverage the best of the best experts across the globe. They should not be restricting themselves just because of the geographical location. We have technology. How can we leverage this technology to give the best to the people? So he have understood both students' challenge, or the learner's challenge. I would rather use the word learner, because students are not the only, but the corporates, individuals, everyone. So learner's challenge as well as the educator's challenge or an expert's challenge. He understood both. That inspired him. He empathized with them. He tried to understand his problem from the human perspective, that you know what, they're really facing the challenge. And it's a, if we can, I am able to imagine, can I execute it? And he really defined the problem in a more crisp manner, that I really want to connect these two people and then move ahead with the solution. Then he brainstormed. That is your ideation phase. Once you have your inspiration, then you get into the ideation. Ideation is you brainstorm, you come up with a lot of different solutions. Okay, what could happen, what could happen, what could happen, how can I do this? So all these different ideas comes into the place, and you put on the table. And then finally, once you have all the ideas, then you do visualization. That's where you start doing a prototyping. You start creating certain products, you start testing it in the market, see whether it works or not. It fails, it's okay. If it fails, you learn from it, you do it again, take the feedback, and you keep maturing your product and reach the stage where you are now accepted by your audience, because now you are really create the product which really includes the value proposition to the users or to the people whom you have identified. So today, if you look at it, if I take the same example, I try to explain the concept with the example. So if I take the example of Zzoko itself, today the platform is created, which creates the value for the students or learners as well as the educators. It solves the genuine human problem, right? Now, both things connected, the success becomes it becomes obvious, because it really adds convenience to the stakeholders. It really adds convenience to the humans, if I want to put it a very simple way. We only adopt the solutions which adds convenience to ourselves. Think about it. You have adopted only those platforms, or you are using only those technologies or only those solutions which added a convenience to them, and it genuinely entered into your lifestyle. Think about Uber or Ola. It entered into your lifestyle. It becomes your routine. People have started taking Uber, Ola just like a normal day. Swiggy, Zomato, we started using it, entered into our lifestyle. Online learning has started entered into our lifestyle. Okay. Now, this is the process. First, you get your inspiration, do your research, then you brainstorm, and then you visualize. This is the process you follow. Now, let's talk about an applications. What are the areas we can use this? Where design thinking can be used? Is it only used to create products? No, it is not. If you are an aspiring entrepreneur, or if you are an executive, if you're a CEO, whoever you are, everyone can use. You can even use design thinking for your designing your career. You can use design thinking for designing your organization. You can use design thinking to designing your brand, right? To marketing, to strategy, to operations, everywhere, right? So designing your product, if you're a product industry, if you're a service industry, you can focus on designing a services. If you are a service industry again, or even a product industry, but if you want to craft an experience, a great experience for your customers, for your employees, for your people, for all the humans attached to it, or all the stakeholders who is a part of your ecosystem, you want to create an experience for them as well. You want to design the process from input to the output. The entire process should be smooth, very optimized. Then also you can use design thinking. If you are a student and you have an idea, that I have an idea, I have a lot of students come to me across the universities. They come to me and say, sir, I have an idea. How can I take this idea to the next level? Or how can I convert this idea to a scalable business model? So simply idea to the business, idea to execution, you can use design thinking approach. Company culture. If you are already scalable and if you want to design the great culture of your company, so to scale up from the human perspective, you can use design thinking. And finally, the UI UX designs, which is primarily it is used by the IT firms who wants to design their mobile applications, who want to design their websites, who want to design their softwares. They use the design thinking for creating the user interface, like how the software and application looks like, feels like, and how easy to operate it, how user friendly is. The biggest example is the Zoom versus Microsoft Teams or Google Meets, right? People always prefer Zoom much better than the Microsoft Teams, only because it's easy, it's user friendly, it's much easier. Like whenever I'm invited as a speaker anywhere, or I have to take a workshop anywhere, I always prefer that please try to have Zoom, no Microsoft Teams, because I'm more comfortable. For me, the user experience, because I'm the user and my experience to use Zoom is much easier. Right? Clear till now? Give me thumbs up if this is clear. Tripti, you says, I have a doubt regarding career while choosing our career of imagination, thinking, sweets. Okay, we'll take all the questions at the end. Okay, so for me, it's easy to follow and I don't lose my sequence. But we'll take it. Preeti, it might, Tripti, it might get lost in the lot of messages. So I would request you to keep it copied and paste it again at the later when we take this. Okay. Now let's come to the future. Now let's talk about the future. Okay, I always believe that, and I'm very firm believer of that, and it's like deep rooted in my blood. Okay, that I don't want to live in anyone's future. I want to live in my own future, and I'm the one who's gonna design it, my way, my future, my way. It's very simple. If I want to put it in a very simple way, right? So, and how many of you are like that? Gimme says yes. I'm also like that. I want to design my own future. If you want to design your own future, give me. Okay, write my future my way. Yeah, a lot of people. Good. Super, right? It has to be like that, right? My future my way. How do I make it? What is your thought process? What should you should be thinking? So what does designing the future means, right? How do you should be thinking about this? If I want to think from the technology company perspective, designing the future means a technology company who tries to anticipate the long-term ethics, that how can this tech be good to the humanity or longer run. If you're a technology firm, if you are a city, when city starts thinking that how can I design the city or a new way to resilient in the face of climate change, how can I create the new community? How can I create the new transportation? How can I create the new services? How can I create the new policies to support, to enhance the lifestyle of the citizens of the city? Okay, that is called the designing the future. Designing the future from the university perspective. What new kind of courses, majors, and degrees we need to teach students today so they can flourish in the future? I don't want to keep teaching the same thing. Probably today, the courses are way different than what I've learned in my college 20 years ago, because those are no longer valid today. So the university also has to design the future for them, for their students, for their participants. Designing the future for an entrepreneur, which means is inventing a new services in a changing world, right? Like Zzoko itself again. He is designing the future of consulting. He's designing the future of a service, that he has to find a new way in this changing world. In this changing world, technology is already there. It is just not evenly distributed. What is important is, can you connect those dots and simply put it together? If you can, you're all good to go. Okay. Designing the future from the CEO perspective. If CEO starts thinking like that I want a CEO who's looking to lead their company into the future and to avoid being disrupted. Every industry is being disrupted, getting disrupted right now. If CEO doesn't start disrupting, he will get disrupted. So he needs to start thinking about it. He needs to question that existence. He needs to come out of the cognitive bias. He needs to start thinking that, whatever am I doing? Am I doing it correctly? Or can I do it the different way? Do I have an opportunity to change the way I'm doing things? Yeah. Designing the future from the engineering perspective. An engineer who is looking to inspire others by the vision of the future. All these new technologies comes. because he is visualizing that how can I build this technology which add convenience to my life and the people around us. Okay. And finally, designing the future, because I know majority of you have wrote that my future, my way. Then how does it happen? That designing the future is you yourself thinking about the life you want to lead in the future, the changes you want to make it, and the world you want to live in. What actions can you take today to prepare you to lead your best life and make the biggest positive impact on the society? The moment you start thinking from that perspective, the moment you start focusing on the problems, the moment you start thinking like, okay, let me solve the human problem, let me understand why these human problems have arisen at the very first place, let me start thinking about new ways, let me imagine the solution, let me imagine what the world should look like or what my life should look like in year 2050, and what action can I take today to make it happen. That's where you start about thinking about designing your own future. But in order to design your future, imagination is important. And that comes to my next point, is how to think like a futurist. Number one is forget about predictions. Again, here we are not astrologers. We are not astrologers, and we do not predict the future that 2030 might look like this. No, I don't really care what might look like it. What I really care is what I want to have in 2030. So it is all about imagination, right? If we talk about Elon Musk a little, he did not imagine that in 2050 we might live in Mars. He said, I want to live in Mars and I'm going to make it happen. Okay, do you see the difference here? It's not about prediction, it's about imagination. If you can able to imagine what you want to do it, and then start taking an action. So we are not taking imagination. We are not talking about prediction. Okay, focus on signals. Now, what is signal? Signal is, as I said, technology comes in an isolation. What is your job is to connect those. It take as a signal. Now, if they take an example of an Uber. Uber said, or let's take an example of different, like Apple, Tesla is coming up with the autonomous cars. Google is also working on an autonomous cars or a driverless cars. Now, Uber has already, do you imagine the future where you are using the mobile app of an Uber, you are ordering the Uber, the closest Uber is automatically picks up, the car itself picks up your signal, comes to you based on where you are, you get into the car, it's a driverless car. No, there are no drivers here. You enter your destination or through your mobile phone, and you just simply says go, car goes and drops you at their destination, and you get out, and automatically payment happens through the Paytm or Google Play or whatever the UPI, everything. Do you think that future is possible, or do you think that might happen in next 5 or 10 years? Possible, right? Possible, right? Now think about it. Driverless cars, yes, available. Mobile application, available. GPS signals, available. Automatic payment, available. Every technology to make it happen is available. What is important is somebody has to connect those technology and make it the entire application. So similarly, focus on the signals. Signals are the world is giving you around. And we will talk about the very good signal in a short while, and then we'll talk about the other 3 points as we go along. So I'll rather take it as an example. Okay, what is signal? Signal is a specific example of a future in the present. In the present, it is just at a smaller scale. It is just somewhere around there. Like if you think about in 2008, Steve Jobs has just thought about an application that why can't we create something called an apps which third person can even create it and put it on our phone. He never imagined that app business will grow so much and it will become the multi-trillion-dollar industry itself. Today, somebody has, the one guy thought that this is beautiful. I can create an app and I can address the traffic problem, and he created an Uber. So he took app as a signal. One guy says, I can use app to create real estate, and he created an Airbnb. One guy said, I can use an app and deliver the foods and add a convenience to it, and he created a Swiggy and a Zomato. Okay. So it's all about, if you can able to pick that signal, if you can able to take that clue and connect those dots together, like, it's just a different dots in the world. It's all about your job is to imagine a new application, imagine a new solution, imagine a new problem which solves the problem for the human, which add convenience to the human life, and connect those dots and make a product out of it. Very simple. What is important is again, if you, whether you can imagine or not. I'll take an example, and this is a beautiful example, and I'm sure you will love it. Okay. United Nations has unveiled a design for a new floating city that can withstand the Category 5 hurricane. Right. So United Nations has collaborated with MIT, which is Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Oceanics, Explorers Club. So all these four organizations has come together because of the eastern coast of the United States is facing a lot of natural calamities. So they said, you know what, in the face of a climate change, we really need to find a way to create this floating city. And he have created a prototype of this floating city. It looks something like this. The prototype was supposed to be ready by end of 2020, but now just because of the pandemic, that is this city will be ready by 2022 or 23. The date is not confirmed, but you can check it online. Now, what this city is, these are hexagonal platforms. Each hexagonal platform has around capacity of having 300 residents. Now, 6 hexagonal platforms make a one village, and 6 villages makes one city, the entire city. Okay. So each city can withstand around or can take up to 10,000 residents. Each platform is anchored to the bottom of the ocean, anchored. Okay. And in the time of the natural calamities, the whole city can be shifted from the one coastal area to another coastal area. So the entire city can be shifted to one place to the other. The whole city is made up of the sustainable material, like, one of the bamboo sticks and all so sustainable materials. They have capability to even grow, do the agriculture. They have everything. It's a self-sustainable city itself. What is the question? These are some of the, of course, these are the 3D images, but this is how they are going to create it, and it's a prototype. What is important is what is question? What is the question here? Question here is, what kind of changes does this represent? From what to what? Today on the earth, there are only 30% is the land and 70% is water. What happens if we conquer the 70% of the earth? If we conquer, how much opportunity we will have in the future? Just imagine what happens if this becomes common. Just like 15 years ago, there were only a few people who were using social media when it just started. Today, whole world is using social media, and the way we communicate changed. Similarly, when this floating city becomes very common, and there are millions of floating cities in the oceans, just imagine how your world will look like, how this earth will look like, how your life will look like. Will you be living on one city? Your job will be in another city. Your friends will be in another city. You will, in the evening, you will partying in the another city, and you will go travel by a boat. Is that the future might happen in next 20 years, 15, 25 years? The question is, do you want to live in that future? Are you excited about the future? Are you fearful about the future? And do you want to part of that future to make it happen? That is question. This is called designing the future. And to sum up, my last example is this point is to think like a future is look back to see the forward. In order to imagine the future, in order to imagine that what world will look like, or world what I want to look like, because world is already giving you clues. The question is, are you able to pick up those clues? Are you able to see those clues? Okay, so for that, how to see those clues? You have to go a little bit back in the history. You will see the change. Just like we started with understanding that why innovation and creativity is so important today, we went back all the way to the first revolution in 18th century, and we understood that, I can see how the changes happened in the industry. Similarly, if you want to look at the future in any particular industry, now look at let's take an example of a communication itself, that what communication might look like in the future. So let's go all the way back in 10,000 BC. There was only one way to communicate, that was face to face, right? So let me take an example. If I want to talk to Janvi, the only way I can talk to Janvi is if she is in front of me. That's the only way. And 10,000 BC. In 550 BC, Persians have invented mails for the very first time, and we got the mails. So I can talk to Janvi now remotely. I can write in a piece of paper. I can send somebody. He goes on a horse, or he goes on a carriage, or he walks. But it takes months for him to reach to the Bangalore. He gives the letter to Janvi. She reads it. She writes me back. Again, it comes back after months, and I read it back. So that time, first time, remote communication was possible. The problem was solved. Now you can talk remotely, but the only challenge is you cannot have a conversation, because there was from each sentence or each communication there is a gap of a month. So the conversation was not possible, but you can talk remotely. At least you can communicate remotely. In 1854, that problem was solved by invention of a phone or innovation of a phone. Now you can talk remotely in a real time. Now but at first it was a very limited, right? It was just a signal that time, a small signal. But in 1910, the phones came at home, and suddenly things have the people's life has changed. People used to communicate easily to each other because now the phone is at our home. In 1995, the major change happened, the innovation of email, where one person can able to communicate to the multiple people at the very same time. So mass communication, same time, one communication to the multiple people was possible using email in 1995. In 2000, texting came and new language was born. That is, we call it a lingo or a short text. LOL, TYFCB, BRB, and ROFL, and all these lingo we use, the short text. So we started using the entire communication happens using the short text. 2003, Skype invented. Of course, ISD were there, but using the Skype, international calling has become easy and the world has come closer. 2010, Apple has come up with the FaceTime, and the video communication was possible. And people started communicating remotely on a common basis using the video call. 2015, people are, of course, talking using the texting, but they wanted to showcase their emotions as well. And emojis have replaced the entire text. And we actually now communicate throughout. The whole communication happens just using the emojis at times, right? 2019, emojis were replaced by avatars. If I want to take it further, now you can create your own face using an avatar and put the emojis on your face itself. 2021, the education is replaced from the classroom to the Zoom. I'm talking to you on the Zoom today, which was not even thought about, which was not even imagined 2 years ago. Now imagine, now if you look at it, do you see the pattern here? Now imagine what will happen or how the communication might look like in 2030. It's much easier to imagine now, because now you will see there is a more how the changes happen. Changes happens for the reason, and it solves one problem at a time. If you look at it, every moment of change in the communication has solved one problem at a time, has all the feature of, or added the feature of convenience in the future, right? So that is called look back to see the future. The moment you look back, you uncover the pattern, and finally create the community. Go around, talk to all the people who are futuristic, because more you talk about, more you create the community, more you talk to the people who are similar, you can able to create it. But if the people who surrounds with you, who talks only about the past, only talks about the non-futuristic stuff, you also stop your imagination. So again, imagination is the key. Thinking from the human centered is a key. Solving the human problem is the key. And adding the convenience, adding the experience, adding and creating impact to the human is the key in order to design a great future for you. Okay. So future is a gift, as I said. I'm very pessimistic about not pessimistic, optimistic about the future. I think future is beautiful. Future is a gift. The question is, are you future ready? Okay. If you are future ready, unthink the way you do things and rethink everything. Everything. Question everything and rethink it. How can you reimagine this? How can you reimagine this? Okay. And that ends my session. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have got some thought-provoking inputs or insights. So thank you very much. And I am now open to questions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll now take questions. So anybody who has questions for sir, just put it in the chat box and I will tell him what are the questions. Guys, whatever questions you'll have, make sure you'll ask him. So put it in the chat box and I will let him know what questions do you have.
So I see one question by DII.
Yes.
I don't know what your name is. So, but yeah, is innovation a skill that can be learned? Yes, it can be a skill that can be learned. That was a myth that it was a work of a genius who come up with an idea. Every one of us can able to come up with an idea. Everyone, it is just a learning the technique. And actually, design thinking is the same subject. Design thinking, if you go deep down into this design thinking, sorry, because today we have only the time of 50 minutes, so I cannot go detail into the design thinking because subject itself is it's an hours long subject. But design thinking, if you deep dive, you can learn how to innovate and how to think like a futurist in a much detail with a lot of case studies, how to empathize. So I talked about the process, right? Empathy, define ideations. There is a techniques, tools and everything. So if you are really interested, try to go a little bit deep into design thinking subjects. It's very interesting, and feel free to connect me through Zzoko, and I will help you out as well. So I would love to help you out. So
we have more questions. We have Sanket saying, everyone have an idea, but we can't make that idea into reality, or we didn't know how to do it. Can you tell him how he could do it?
First of all, there are two things. Please do not work on your idea. Please do not have an idea. That is the first thing. I know this is the answer you are not looking at. Convert your idea into the problem. That what is the human problem that are you solving? Then shape your idea. The moment you have an idea, then shape your idea. Then do the solutioning. Find your inspiration. That why do you want to do what you do? Because I always say people buy your why. People do not care what you do. People only cares why you do what you do. So why should be very clear. Okay. So once you have the inspiration, then execution will automatically take place. The reason you don't, majority of the people don't convert idea into execution because ideas are the ones you like it. You need to convert whether people like it or not. Okay. In the success of the startup, it really does not care whether you like it or like your idea or not. What is important, whether people like your idea or not. And converting into the people problem is very important. The moment you have the people's problem, execution will become much easier. Okay. Any games you would recommend? I have lots of games. I don't know what is the context of it, but there are so many games just to provoke the thought process. Just like, one experiment we did it, just, a quick experiment of designing a disk, so on and so forth. Like I have hundreds of games. So maybe on a context, I can recommend few things, but classic thinking versus modern thinking. Yes, this is more I can connect to the modern thinking. What values more? Human problems. It's always, there is only one values, not more, not less, nothing. It's only human values. There is only one thing here. Know the pain points. Any insights on how can we create culture of innovation and problem solving in our company? Yes, you start first. and then culture will follow. People will follow. You start first thinking about it. Give opportunity for the people to think about it. In my organization or in my surroundings, I have everyone who I give the opportunity to everyone that start thinking. Give the so the mindset or a culture starts with you first. Okay, do not impose the idea on your team. Do not impose idea on the people. In fact, encourage the idea of everyone and respect everyone's idea, because you start respecting, people will start respecting you. Okay. Great session. Thank you very much, Harsh. Does visualization guarantee that our future will turn out exactly as we wish? No, nothing guarantees. Okay, but it will give you the path. It will give you the way forward. It will give you the way forward, what works or what doesn't. The moment you know what doesn't, that will give you an opportunity to correct yourself. Because if you don't create a visualization, you will not even have an opportunity to correct yourself. Okay, so there is no guarantee. Even if you imagine, people fail. Okay, so it's all about, but what is important is, do you fail and you don't give up? You imagine, you have imagined it. If you are persistent on it, that what, I want to make it happen, you keep doing it, repeating it. Okay. Chintan says, great session, everyone. Thank you, Chintan. Tanushri, deeply thinking is very important before you do something. That is very correct. Sanket says, thank you very much. Thank you, Sanket. Future is a way forward. Thank you, Gagan. Thank you, Harsh. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. I think this is pretty much it, and I might be a little over the time, maybe 4 or 5 minutes, but I think we are okay.
No worries, sir. Thank you so much. We're so glad for having you here, and thank you so much for sparing time to have a session for all of us. And we look for many more sessions with you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, and keep doing the great work. Keep going, guys.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so guys, now I will share my screen with you all. Just give me a minute. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much once again. Just give me a second. I will share. Okay. See, there's some issue. Mm-hmm. 1 minute, guys. I'll just share it. Okay, can you all see my screen? Just give me a thumbs up if you all can. Okay, great. Okay, so now we had an amazing session. So we will now go to a game, because I think you all have been listening for a long time now. So we can go to some games and then we'll see. Just give me a second. Yeah, so we'll go to games. So we're going to play a game wherein you have to identify the logo. Okay, so I will be showing you some 6-7 logos, and you all can tell me if you all can recognize. Just put your answers in the chat box. Okay, so the first one is this. Put your answers in the chat box. Okay, we have a lot of smart people here. You're correct. It is Philips. So all your answers are correct. We next have, come on guys, put your answers in the chat box. Okay. Of course, who doesn't know BMW is my question here. We next have, yeah, go ahead. Go on. Okay, smart people out here, correct. This one. Hyundai, correct, absolutely. All the guys here are pretty smart and have a good memory, I must say. We next have this. Okay, see, good people, smart. Everybody's very attentive and remember a lot of things. Great, we have a good crowd. And the last one is this. Come on. Guys, type full forms, okay? Like type of full forms in the chat box, not the abbreviations. Okay, Indian Overseas Banks, absolutely correct. So all of you guys are very correct in all of this. So now this was like a small interactive thing for all, but now we have a break. But in this break, you all can take 5 minutes to rest. But apart from that, we will have a task. I told you all to follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn, right? I hope all of you have done that. So now here's the task for all of you all. You have to take screenshots of the sessions, or I hope you might have taken it already. But if you all have not, you all can take it now, or later on after this session starts. You all can still do it after this. Yeah, the Instagram and LinkedIn link is here. You'll have to post stories on Instagram and tag us. Tag Zzoko HQ on Instagram. The link is here. And also put the hashtag it's Zzoko time. I will also, yeah, I'll just write it for you all in the chat box. Hashtag it's Zzoko time, tag Zzoko, and put a good review, good as in any frank review or anything creative in the story. And 3 best stories will be receiving a pizza during this event. Before this event ends, you will be delivered with the pizza. So you have to mention a screenshot if I have a private account. Okay, yeah, Sahana, you can do that, but screenshot it and send it to Zoko's account handle, Instagram handle, okay? So that we know. And you'll have to mention us and type hashtag at Zzoko time. And the story needs to be very creative, okay? Like if the story is not creative enough, you might lose the pizza. And of course, everybody who participates will also get an ebook. So even if you don't win, don't feel bad. We have ebooks for all of y'all, which will be given by the 3-4 working days. You all will receive it. 3 best stories will be getting a pizza, and 1 will get an ebook, which is a 5 amazing resume template. I'm sure it is useful for all of y'all. So I will give you 2 to 3 minutes to go and have the story thing, and then we'll go to the next speaker. Do we have Sapna ma'am here already? I think we do have you. Thank you, ma'am. We're happy to have you. I'll just give me 2 minutes. Let these people do these things, and then we'll go forward. The hashtag, I'll type it for you guys. Here is the hashtag for all. So it's 26 now. We will be starting in the next 2 minutes. Okay, guys, so y'all can continue doing it and just put a thumbs up in the chat box whenever y'all are done. We cannot keep the speaker waiting, so let's move to Sapna ma'am. Okay, we have Sapna ma'am here. Okay, so a little bit about Sapna ma'am. Ma'am, welcome to Zoko's launch event, and we're really glad to have you here. A little bit about her. Sapna ma'am is the founder and CEO of Ethereal Enterprises, and is also an English confidence building coach and a published author. She is passionate and puts her creative approach to teach people verbal and non-verbal communication skills in English. She recently launched her book, With English, Be Distinguished. It is an interactive handbook for all of you who hesitate to speak English in a group of people. She is the creator of internationally licensed online course Better English for a Professional Tomorrow. Her secret for exceptional English skills is she has made a habit of reading at least 10 pages each day. Wow, I mean, that is really a great habit. And I mean, me and all of you should have that habit of reading 10 pages every day. She's also on a mission to impact 1 million lives for 2022. So we're really glad to have you, Dr. Sapna, and it's really nice to have such an amazing person on the panel and looking for great insights from you. Over to you, ma'am. You can take it over. Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and hi, Janvi. Thank you for the introduction. I'm very happy to be associated with Zzoko, and it would be a pleasure to have this session with all the wonderful people here. Now, I would love all of you to just switch on your videos and let it be on for the rest of the session, which I have, because I love to look at the faces and talk to faces instead of just names. You would also love it, if I show my face and talk to you, look into your eyes, smile, see the reactions, and all of it. So I would head on to my session, and here starts my timer. I don't want to overshoot this time. You know what my session is, do you? If you know what session I'm going to have, just put a thumbs up in the chat box while I share my screen. And if you don't know what my topic for today is, here is the topic. Mastering small talk. So, how many of you are comfortable with small talk? Do you feel comfortable talking to people who are strangers? Sahana says, not really. Well, next question. You do know who introvert is and who an extrovert is. And if you don't know, I will give you an explanation for this. An introvert person is one who is very happy spending time with themselves. And an extrovert person likes to spend time with others. So their free time is more for others than with themselves. Now, you know yourself so well, don't you? Please put in the chat box. If you're an introvert, put I. And if you're an extrovert, put E. I can see I'm purely extrovert. I'm fully extrovert. All right. I, E. Purely extrovert. All right. Can you explain again? If you like to spend your free time with yourself, then you're an introvert. If you like to spend your free time with others, then you're an extrovert. Okay, we have a neat balance of I and E rolling up. Thank you for your participation with this question. Let me move on to my session. Okay, so this is my introduction, author Sapna Narayan, and I have already been introduced, so there's not really much. The only thing which adds on that I love to watch beaches and also Netflix. I love going on to the beaches. And let me move on. So, how many of you feel that mastering small talk is important for your growth? And what is small talk? Small talk is any conversation which is not done to impress or give some information as such. No, small talk is just a conversation starter The only aim it can have is to fill up the gaps, the awkward gaps which we have at a party or in a meeting, or just casual social connect with people. Or also, they may help to initiate a conversation, or move on from just being strangers to getting to whatever important conversation you want to have, business conversation you want to have, or whatever it is. So small talk is a very it's kind of a gap, and it helps you to gauge what people are thinking, and you also get to know some bit about you, and it's kind of breaks the ice. It is important for nowadays. It is important nowadays. Small but not point. It's certainly not pointless, and it depends on that person and situation. But because I want to make new friends, but sometimes they think I'm crazy. Well, you just maybe. Let me go on to the next slide. What kind of growth, personal, professional, or both, can you have if you are good with your small talk? Can I have quick responses? I know I'm getting you to do a lot of things, but my sessions are always very interactive. You have to be there with me for me to be energized. Both. Okay. So when you say that, okay, there's so many people saying both, which means it is very important for your personal and professional growth. And we want all of it. Do you think that you can consciously master small talk? Yes or no? Quick Y or N. Do you think you can consciously master small talk? Yes. Oh, I love this audience. I love this set of people. They're so active, super active. Fantastic. So I can see all yeses here. Great. Let me go further. So it is a fact around the world, whichever language it may be, one needs to master the art of small talk. It's not just with English. I wouldn't say it's English just because I'm an English confidence building coach. Any language you would need to master the art of small talk to be relevant. So let me tell you one little case study. In one party, there is a group of people who are talking, and Sachin walks in there, and he says hello, and everyone just stares at him. Nobody actually responds to Sachin, and he feels very awkward. And there's another case where this girl, Kirti, she just joins the group, gives out her name, and bubbles constantly is talking about herself for next 15 to 20 minutes, telling everything about her, what she feels, what she does. And the people are looking for ways to leave that group because she is talking too much. So where do you see yourself? Are you a S for Sachin? Are you a K for Kirti? Or you're neither, which is N? Quick ones. N, S, N. Okay, I'm getting to know you better. N. All right. Quickly, any more? Okay, I love the pizza thing in the middle. Right, so there are some of you who are S, some of you are N, but none of you are K here, what I see. So now nobody is just walking into a group and just jabbers off. Well, it's best if you are neither, because if you're S for Sachin or K for Kirti, you are not really good in that group. So the trick to engage in an interesting conversation is to stop trying to be interesting. Instead, you should be interested in others. That is what makes people happy about being with you. Because if you are only talking about yourself, they get bored. But if you are interested in them, if you ask them questions, or if you want to know what they're doing or how have they been, they would be really interested in, being with you in that group or talking another line. So now we get to the actual topic, which is 7 ways to start a conversation and not leave others burdened to take a lead or just try and extricate themselves from the group. So I'm going to give you 7 ways to start a conversation. And this conversation is going to be your small talk. These are 7 ways where you can have and begin a talk, which is, small, and then you can take it up and to a further, more serious matter, or you can even go ahead and flirt, whatever. I mean, but you have to start the conversation somewhere. So how many of you can actually tell me what kind of topics you have, you can converse in, for small talk? I can give you an example. आज का मौसम कैसा है? How is it? What is the weather like? So weather is a favorite topic one picks up with strangers to start a conversation, to have small talk. Can you think of something else other than weather to start a conversation? Weather, food, oh yes. About themselves? No, Harsh, not about themselves. Hobbies, fantastic. Appearance, yeah. News, oh yes. Politics, where are you from? Okay, yeah, very good. Place, interests, yeah. Do you love traveling? Yeah, fantastic. Passion, oh great. We have so many topics here. So do you really think you need my help? All of you know everything. But nevertheless, I love this group because it is super active. Families, yes. So it has to be contextual. And oh, I get that compliment? Or was that just a way to start a conversation? Well, that's good. All right. So we have a nice long list here. So 7 ways to start a conversation. I'm going to give you some tips, and you can just pick it up from there and go ahead. And first one, first situation where and how you can start, how you can have small talk is you are in this together. What would that mean? When circumstances are not ideal, acknowledging a shared experience can soften the guard and get the conversation going. So imagine you're in a bus, you're traveling in a bus, and there has been a breakdown. What do? The wheels are, they're working on the wheels and getting the bus going. They're trying to get it done, and it doesn't happen in 5 minutes time. And you sit there talking to people. You can't do the talking, or in these days people just are busy on their phone, so they can just watch something on their phone, or they can just make a phone call and just be busy. But what if you have no network there? What would you do? I think the only thing I can think of is going to sleep, other than having a small talk. And there is no way that you will not talk to anyone, because the least what you want to know is what is the problem? How long will it take for the problem to solve? So you ask your neighbor, do you think what the problem is? Or somebody is getting onto the bus, you ask, kitna time lagega? I mean, how long will it take to start the journey or the travel again? So you start that. This is how you start a conversation, and then if you would like, you can just continue. You might be feeling odd at a party, and at that party you may be because you're feeling odd, you are not joining into any of the groups, and there's someone else who is also feeling odd. And by just looking at the body language, you do understand that, okay, both of us are kind of feeling left out. So what do? You just go to that person who's sitting alone and just ask, so how are you? How do you, are you enjoying the party? the person might just say, no, I think I'm getting bored here. And then you can say, yeah, even I'm getting bored. So what do you do? And this is how you start your conversation. This is how your small talk begins. Now, this is one situation. Can anyone just write one point on how can your just conversation go in either of these situations? The first sentence which you can break the ice with. Let's go get drinks or something. Okay, let's play Ludo at the party. All right, you have everything. You get free time with new people to make friends. Yeah, sing a song. I don't think a person who's feeling uncomfortable would actually go ahead and sing a song. Okay, team up. Yes, you would team up because you are in this together. And that is what builds your relationship with that particular person. And you feel comfortable. And then your conversation moves on and flows on. And it might just take any turn, which may or may not culminate into anything more than what you're expecting. So, point one is you're in this together, and the same kind of circumstance actually helps you. Coming to the second point, we have you can begin a conversation by by noticing something nice about someone. So a positive approach can get the conversation to a right start. So notice something nice and pleasant to say. Okay, and yeah, okay, so I have the wrong example here. The cut paste has not really helped me much. But I can come up with new example, and so can you. So what is the nice thing you can notice about somebody anywhere? Would you like to have water? Rukmini, actually, you are giving me as direct messages. You can actually put it on the group. What to say about a person who seems more of a pushover? You're asking me. We'll get to the question answer part, and that is where I'll take these questions. But right now, give me example when you notice something nice about someone. The appearance, yeah, and how the person behavior, their dressing sense. Yes, absolutely. The brand, the choice of brand, fantastic, Gagan. The choice of brand, you may be a fan of that brand and you can just say, oh, I love your Gucci bag. And hey, you look smart. Yeah. So if you find something nice, or you have seen that person somewhere talk to someone, and you can just say, okay, I overheard you talking in that group, and I really feel what you were talking about there was making sense. It was really resonating with me. So what you're doing is you've noticed something nice, and you have actually started your conversation with that person on that good note. Third point, pay a compliment. Yeah, it's a great icebreaker. And who doesn't like a genuine compliment? Come on, you have to be really genuine about this. Why genuine? Because everyone can see the fakeness. If you don't feel that your dress is good, yeah, honesty, be honest. How and whatever you say, if you're honest, it'll take you a long way. And please don't fawn over and never get into creepy territorial compliments. You know what that means? You can say your dress is looking nice, you're looking beautiful, I love the way you speak, I love your hairstyle. But please don't become creepy and go beyond that. You can get creepier and creepiest also. Please avoid going to skin tones, and don't make that person uncomfortable, because that person is going to run away from you. Trust me, if they are not comfortable with you talking to them about personal things. Maybe you can go to the eyes. Yeah, you have beautiful eyes, but this is again, on the verge of getting creepy and uncomfortable. You can say, "Oh, I have seen you on Facebook, or I follow you on Instagram, and I know you have written this and you've written that." My God, I'm sure the person would look like a stalker. Um, be very careful never to venture into the creepy zone. Be nice, give a good compliment. Don't overdo. Very correct. Absolutely right, Gagan. Don't overdo. They do know themselves pretty well. Yeah. And next, how would you start a conversation? Ask for an opinion again. Don't ask for an opinion on something which has happened long time back. You are in a situation with a person, and that person is a stranger. So ask an opinion on something which is immediately relevant. Don't look irrelevant to anyone. And everyone likes it when their opinion matters. Show genuine interest. Like I said, you need to be genuine. You need to be yourself. Don't try to copy anyone else. You will just make a fool of yourself. So, yeah, example, would you recommend their sessions? Somebody might just ask you after this session, somebody might just ask you, would you recommend Sapna Narayan's sessions? Or do you think that she's a good English confidence building coach? Now, that's an opinion. So, a few people here and plenty of people you know may just ask you this question. And that would be a relevant question because you're just stepping out of a session with me in a few minutes' time. So let it be something very relevant. You can even say, oh, do you think the points were right? Do you think we can use it to each other? So that is, you're asking for an opinion. Was the keynote relevant? Yeah. So these are immediate topics. So the moment the session gets over, these will be the relevant topics. You can ask anyone their opinion for. Let me just jump into the chat box. How will the other one know if we are commenting them? You see, if you're genuine, people know that you're genuine. How to counter back when your words make someone uncomfortable? Just say sorry and walk out. But remember, you are talking to a stranger. So don't venture into the areas which can make them uncomfortable. Be very cautious of the fact that you have to bring on something which is very general and one will not take offense to. So you have to give me an example, Harsh. Hey, do you think I'm well dressed? No, that's pretty cheesy. And if you're asking a boy, you're a boy, and if you're asking a boy, it's okay. Oh, yes, I'm going for an interview. Do I look okay? Don't say I'm well dressed. Tone it down a little bit. So you're stepping into an interview and you have somebody who's just come out or you is going to go just after you. Just ask, I'm looking okay. Do I look fine? It's all right. Yeah. And when you come out, the person may just ask you, how did your interview go? What did they ask? So the ice is broken. You have started your conversation. Your small talk has is launched, and you can just go ahead and ask any other question you would like to. Of course, don't be cheesy. Be very cautious about that till you become really good friends. And if you are talking to somebody of the other gender, you have to be extra cautious of what you start your conversation with. Let me go to the next one. You can offer help. There's no better way to show that you're nice. If you help someone, why would you help someone? You would help someone only because that someone is in trouble. It can be some kind of trouble. So you can offer help and the person will be more than grateful. And after, say, you take the help, the person might just ask you, so what's your name? Thank you so much. What's your name? What do you do? Where do you go? You might just exchange numbers and there it goes. You can take that conversation anywhere you like. It can, you can have a personal growth or you may have a professional growth. You might just collaborate with that person. You might just get a job with that person. Anything. But this small talk is like, when you offer help, you have an upper hand and people are grateful to you. So, but help when you can and just go ahead. So example, like somebody is walking on the road somewhere and they are looking pretty lost, and you're having a walk in your colony, in your township, in your city, and you're aware of all the roads and where the buildings are and which block is where and all of that. You are very aware of it, and somebody is really looking lost there. You've seen them taking rounds, trying to figure out an address, so you can just offer them help. You seem lost, can I help you? Which address are you looking for? So just don't go like, strong on them, like, hello, what are you doing? Why are you're going around here so much? Police ko bulao. So don't go there. Please ascertain first that the person is actually looking for an address and not fooling around on the roads that you frequent. Looks like you have a flat tire. Yeah, we've seen this in the movies so many times, and the hero jumps in and helps, and then they go around singing around trees, and the movie moves on. So if someone is having a flat tire and if you offer help, they will be more than happy to they would be more than happy to take your help, if you look really good to them, and you look genuine, and you don't intimidate them. Give someone lift in a car, and when driving, do small talk and get number. No, your focus should not be to get number. Our focus here is small talk. So you just have a conversation which is not really taking you anywhere, but can take you. Hey, are you in trouble? Can I help you? Very good, Tanushri. That's a very good example. If a person is in trouble, they would love to get some help from you. No, to be friends only. No, no, no. Whatever your intention is, the moment you ask the number, you don't look like only friends. Or maybe it may be okay for the younger generation today. I wouldn't know that. But for sure, because you have helped that person, the person is not going to hesitate giving you the number. If within that period of time you have garnered enough confidence, and you have established your credibility, exchanging numbers will not be a big issue ever. So go ahead, offer help. You can offer help to very young children. You can offer help to women, girls. You can offer help to men if they really need it. You can offer help to people who are specially abled. You can help old people. Suppose you're going in a train, you can offer them your seat, and you wouldn't know who that person is, what contacts that person has. So go ahead, offer help when you can. Never hesitate, because small talk is really not small. It can take you places. It can take you places. You will not know an opportunity that you have lost by not offering help to somebody at a particular time. Let's go to the next one. Look for common ground. So when you are at a function where everyone has a similar background, so if you have, a party of policemen, so you know what to do, you know what to talk. So you pick up a topic which is relevant to them. Okay, so touching on common grounds builds immediate interest. They would be interested in you and what you're talking about. So there may be a case that they have been handling and you've heard on TV. So if you just ask them their opinion, they would be more than happy to give you their opinion on the topic. And likewise, you have many other common grounds where you're at a wedding. You have your family there. So what do people do at the wedding? They have fun. They also do matchmaking. So yeah, all aunties and families, they do matchmaking at weddings. So yeah, if you're looking for something like that, you can very well start the conversation. And maybe you can say that I have a friend who is interested in getting married, and maybe you look like a good match. Why don't you connect? Or something of that sort. I'm just giving you examples. And yes, which year did you pass out of school? So somebody says that I am from XYZ school, and you have passed out from that XYZ school. Don't you get interested? You are supremely interested. You want to know more. The conversation has taken off. You would certainly ask, so which batch? And then you will start taking names of people of that batch or some batches which you can relate to, and they would answer. So you don't have close-ended questions. Close-ended questions, do you understand what that means? Close-ended questions are questions which, just like professor, what would that mean? Yeah, some professors also, you would know them and they would ask, yeah, they know them. Okay. When you go for study into the other country and someone belongs, yes, yeah. So suppose you've gone to US to study and you find somebody speaking in Hindi. Yeah. Can you imagine the kind of feeling which will rush into you? You will be connected to that person immediately. You might later on find out that that person is from Pakistan. Doesn't matter. As long as that person is talking in Hindi, you would connect. And like how? So you might just, okay, so where do you stay? Let's go for a drink. Let's go for dinner. And why don't you come over? Let's go for a movie. This is how your conversation is going to go and your relationship is going to build. So your personal relation will certainly build, but you never know. Your professional growth is also hinged there. You can never be sure where your small talk can take you. The way he started the talk with the inspector. Okay. So, yeah. So, okay. And then suppose on the train or at the airport, you're talking to someone and or actually just at an interview, if you meet someone who's sitting next to you, you're saying, hi, where are you from? And they say, I'm from Delhi. And you're sitting probably in Bombay and you've come there for the interview. And you simply ask the person, where are you from? And they say they are from Delhi, and you do know Delhi pretty well. Although you don't live there, but your next question would be, where in Delhi do you live? And you'll try to figure out whether you know the place, and then you might just get some chacha, mama, bhanja, bhatija, friend, some more connection, and your conversation just rolls on. So this is how anything rolls on. The seventh and my the last point which I want to give you is ask for help or information. Asking for opinion, help, or guidance makes one feel helpful. Everybody likes to feel good about this. Have you been in a situation where you've asked people for directions or information? Please type in the chat box if you have. Yeah. Hey, do you know where is that company? Yes. So I guess each one of us have come across this situation wherein we have had to ask an opinion or help or guidance from someone. And what would it be like? I mean, what would you remember? What did you ask help for, or guidance or opinion for from someone? Maybe you're buying a TV, and or you're buying a bike and somebody has that bike. You would just ask the person for their opinion, asking them, what do you feel about the bike? Is it good? Kitna mileage deti hai? With the petrol prices, the fuel prices hitting the roof, you would ask, kitna mileage deti hai? How much do you actually spend on the service of this? Why did you buy it? Oh, yes, of course, Manpreet, such a, yes, very apt. While buying, not taking, while buying a new mobile, you would want to know the features. And if anybody has that mobile, you would want to know how it actually functions. So whatever if you're interested in a camera or you're interested more on the space, the memory, you would ask them specific questions. Yeah, you would ask specific questions and based on, so suppose if you're going to buy the latest version of Apple, it is mighty expensive. You're not going to blindly go and buy that iPhone, would you? You would ask opinion, you would ask help, you would take guidance, whatever you may call it, from people who already have it. And yeah, if they bought something you're interested in, just ask them their review. Yes, of course. If you're buying a course, oh, my book is out. So people would ask each other, what do you think about the book? Should we go and buy the book? And don't forget the movies, universities, of course. So university, when you're going for placement, you would ask people. If you're going for a movie, you would tell people, go ahead, watch the movie. It was fantastic. I loved Three Idiots. It's a movie which you should not miss. Zindagi na milegi dobara. Go ahead, watch it. So people might just ask you that, and you might go and ask people. I have done that for sure. I hate to walk into movie hall without some reviews from people because it feels like a punishment to me if I have to sit through that movie, all through. And what about when you're traveling abroad? When you're traveling abroad, suppose you're going to Paris, you would ask anybody around you who's been to Paris. You would ask, okay, so where did you stay? Where did you put up? And where did you eat? Do you get Indian food? Where can we find Indian food? How much would it cost? You are traveling to Bangkok, Phuket. You would ask questions. Okay, so where can we shop? Where would you find the cheapest shops and things like that? So it is inevitable that there has to be a situation in your life where either you are asking or you are giving help. Also about place review for the next tour plan. Also for the event manager or your tour guide, you would ask people. So, but make sure that whenever you are asking for help or information, make sure that you don't embarrass the person. You ask a person who is in a position to help you. Now, how can you embarrass someone? So you have this officer in the company, and then that person does not is a big officer, fine, but standing out of the company, you feel that that person is really big and very influential in the company. So you say, मेरे ना भाई को जॉब लगा दीजिए आप अपने कंपनी में. You are embarrassing that person. Why? Simply because he is not in a position to give job to your brother. So make sure if you are asking for help, make sure that that person is in a position to help you. Don't embarrass them at all. And what about getting married? Anyone gets married, ये लड़का है वो लड़की है, and there is a whole lot of family members going around asking opinion of people around anyone who has touched their lives. You want to know the actual person. So important. So all that research happens. Okay, the example here which I have given is, could you tell me the app you use to schedule your calls? Yeah, so someone like me who schedules calls, I always use my calendar. My entire day is in my calendar, and if I really need to take a call, or if somebody says, should I call you today, or I'll call you later, it cannot be like that. It has to be on my calendar, because otherwise there's a big clash and confusion. So the person might just ask me, could you tell me which app do you use to schedule your calls? Hey, do you know any mechanic around here? Of course, you're driving down and your car has broken down. What do you do? रास्ते में कोई भी साइकिल वाला जा रहा है, you would stop and ask the person, is there a mechanic shop around here? You are hungry, you'll ask for a restaurant. You would ask for how the restaurant is. If you are going to a new place for a special, to celebrate a special occasion, you would ask people. And what's the other example I've written here? Where can I find the shuttle bus? Yeah, of course. So if you are a car person, you probably don't know the yeah, the schedule of the buses around, and when you actually have to take the bus, you would really need to ask people where you can find it. So okay, so those were the 7 points which you can look into to have a small talk or to start a small talk. Just delve into it, pick any of it, don't make a fool of yourself. And now, when the conversation has actually started, go ahead, keep it flowing, and don't make horrendous assumptions. Now, would you know where you can make horrendous assumptions to start a small talk? Can any one of you come up with an example? If you can't, then I will give you an example of my own where people have made horrendous assumptions in their small talk. And why I am bringing this up is because I don't want you to make any of these assumptions. All right, so I don't see the chat box really buzzing on this question. Hey, do you know where I get free pizzas? First, join Zzoko. Okay. Right. So you make horrendous assumptions when you are watching a program and offering someone a cigarette. All right, yeah, you make a horrendous. Yeah, it's not that bad that person can just say no. Let me give you a situation where you can make this kind of a problematic situation for yourself. You can embarrass yourself. So you're watching a program, you're watching a play, and the actors are acting, and they are doing their thing, and you and your friends are just standing in the crowd and trying to enjoy it, and you just make a small talk with the person who's standing next to you and say, hey, isn't that girl hot on the stage? Or you can just say, I haven't seen a worse actor than that lady on the stage. And eventually you find out that the person who you just try to have a small talk happens to be her husband. Yeah. Or that you made a comment that that girl is looking hot on the stage, that the person happens to be the father. So you are making an assumption that everyone there in public is not connected to the person there, or telling someone he looks okay, yeah, he's looking bad in public. A group is discussing something important, you go and talk on other topics without knowing the topic. You actually make an assumption that you know it all, but you don't. So you make a horrible situation for yourself. Don't embarrass yourself. Try never to do that. So this brings me to the end of my presentation. Good luck, happy conversing, be confident and comfortable. I really hope the session added some value. I would be open to question and answer. This is Sapna Narayan, your English confidence building coach, and I will stop sharing my screen. And I would love to take questions from you if you have any. This is the very happiest conversation online meeting I ever have. Thank you, Sanket. That's wonderful. Oh, it's an hour. It seems like it just started. Wow, that is a huge compliment for my session. Lovely. I take it as a compliment, and I believe that you enjoyed it. And I really hope that you found value for people who are introverts who find it very, very difficult. Can't you continue, because it's really enjoying? Okay. It was beautiful session. Didn't feel the time passed. That was because you were participating with me, Really enjoyable. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. I love this buzzing chat box. I love these people who have addressed. They are so active. And it is always enjoyable for us to take sessions where people are actually interacting with you. How to stop the talk without hurting the person? You mean the conversation? All right, you can just say, "Oh, I just have to make a call. Let me get back to you." Okay, you can say that, or you can just say, "Can I get you a drink?" And or you can just say, "Nature's called. Sorry, can I just come back to you?" And you can just go and not come back. So it's all right. It's all right. The person will get the hint. You really don't have to spell it out. Most welcome, Tanushri, Sanket, Ronnie, Montek. You all have been wonderful. Harsh. Yeah, I remember. If there is a girls group, how can I ask them and talk? How can you get into the conversation? And you want to talk to one girl, or you're interested in all the girls there? Sanket. Okay, so you want to be a part of the girl conversation, then you really have to be charming and suave. So what would you do? You go, "Hi girls, why you're looking so pretty, all of you. मैं किस से बात करूं? How can I, decide who do I talk to first?" You can just be humorous, and you can and girls always like somebody who's humorous, who can give them a good laugh. Hello, there is a sale going on. Sanket, yeah. And what do you think? They're going to rush? They're going to rush for the sale and not talk to you. So I don't think this is really going to work for you. What do you say, Janvi? Would it work?
No,
No,
absolutely not.
it wouldn't. Okay. Hi, girls. This group seems to be attracting people. Okay. Don't say attracting people. Hi, girls. This group seems to be the prettiest group around here. All girls love compliments. Trust me. Any compliment, and you have, but just don't be cheesy. The more witty you are, the more humorous you are, the more attention you get. So you have to really practice on that. Now, I'm not going to teach you flirting skills, although you need to start with a small talk and then you can step into the flirting one. So maybe sometime later, I will teach you how to flirt well. That is also part of communication and English communication. Ma'am, being an introvert, I don't really like sharing my things or feelings. So when someone asks me about me, I feel uncomfortable. How should I overcome that? So Vanilla, very good question. You are an introvert. When you are an introvert, does not mean that you don't talk. You do talk. Um, you are uncomfortable because you've not decided what you want people to know about you. So just jot down, some 2, 3 points, and be prepared with it. So you will not have to think on the spot, and you're prepared with it, because anywhere you go, people might just ask you, "So what do you do? What are you doing? How are you feeling?" Things like that. Probably I have answered your question, Vanilla. If, let me know. Where can I get your book, or how can I join your webinar in future, Sanket? My book is on Amazon and Flipkart. You can find it there. And how can I join? I'm on Zzoko. I will be on Zzoko, and I'm there in every other social media for sure. Thank you. Most welcome, Vanilla. I'm glad I could add value. And let me know if you can, if you've tried the little smart trick which I just gave you. Just be prepared. It's nothing beats being prepared. Nothing beats it. And practice. Amazing. If you're an introvert, you need to be prepared and you need to practice, and it's going to take you a long, long way. And if we do not have any other question, I think we can move to Janvi, and we are on time. I have not really overshot, so I still have 2.5 minutes to go. What say, Janvi?
Thank you, ma'am. That's really sweet for you to
I
complete
started
it before time.
I keep a timer in front of me most of the time. I talk and start conversation, but other person, they start to fear. Why, Sanket? so probably you have to lower your volume and put a smile on your face, look approachable, and talk something which they would like, which is of their interest and not of your interest. Please, it's not about you. Small talk becomes only about you after the small talk is over. Initially, you have to be interested in others, and that is where they'll warm up to you. So, okay, Janvi, let's give another 30 seconds for any other questions to roll in. Why don't you just switch on your videos for a minute? I would love to see you. It makes me happy to see faces. See, Janvi is looking so pretty as she smiles. And more smiling faces would make me smile more. Smile is always contagious. All right, so Janvi, I think we are at the end of the session. The question answer session is also taken care of. And should I move the session on to Janvi?
Yeah, we have people who started the video for you. There was
so
Rashmi, there was
nice.
Ronnie,
So sweet, Bharat. Hi, Bharat. I think we spoke yesterday on Clubhouse. Ronnie, hi. Thank you so much for switching on your video. Makes me feel happy to see faces and eyes. Manjit, thank you so much. Wow, Ujjwal Agarwal, we just spoke. Great, fantastic. Thank you, everyone, for being so kind to me. And yes, Sajad, thank you. Thank you. You all have honored my request. I'm indebted. Thank you so much. Love this session. And over to you, Janvi. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody, for taking her request and starting the videos on. That's really sweet of all of you. And ma'am, thank you so much for sparing time and coming and sharing your points. It's always great to hear from you, be it Clubhouse, be it Zoom app. It is very knowledgeable. And I'm sure all of these people are going to come here for more sessions. You all have been asking in the chat box of how you all can take sessions from her. So I will again share the Zzoko app QR code with you all when I share my presentation. You all can download the app on iOS and Android, whatever phones you have, and you all can directly book a session with Sapna ma'am, and she'll be there for you as like to mentor you all with everything and anything you want. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Zzoko. And have a wonderful day, all of you.
Same to you, ma'am. We wish the same to you. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye. I take everyone's leave. Thank you for being so patient with me. Bye, everyone.
Okay, guys. So now again, it's break time. So I will share my screen. Give me a minute. Hope you all are liking the session. Okay, so again, it is game time for y'all. Y'all again have to keep writing in the chat box so that I know y'all are there and not sleeping. Okay, so the next game is identify the tagline. Sure, Sanket we'll try our best to arrange sessions with her. And there are many more sessions, so you all should keep coming for the other sessions as well. We have many more such sessions. So let's go to the first tagline. You all have to write your answers in the chat box again, okay? I'm sure this one everyone knows. Go ahead, type your answers. See, I said, who doesn't know Nike here? Okay, we'll go next. The answer is correct. We next have this one. Come on, type your answers. Nobody seems to be typing. Nobody knows this. Okay, I don't think anybody knows this one. The answer to it is Samsung, and I think you all don't know about it, but try remembering next time. Don't Google it. It's better you don't. The next one. Come on. Oh, come on. This everybody should know. No problem, Ronnie. You can go to the next one. It's fine. Okay, Varun, thank you for the answer. Anybody else? Nobody knows. SUV. Okay. No, the correct answer is BMW again. We'll go to the next one. Come on, guys. This is like you travel. You might have seen this somewhere. Nobody knows. Move the way you want. No, it's not OnePlus. Pritam. No, not Burger King. Not Burger King. Yes, Ajinkya is correct. It's Uber. Go ahead with this one. Nobody knows about Let's Go Places. No, it's not Go iVivo. Yes, correct. It's Toyota. Now, why do I feel y'all are going on Google and searching these answers? If y'all are, don't do that. Okay. So the answer is Toyota. The next one is this. Come on now. Again, this also everybody should know this. Yes, Ronnie, you're correct. But nobody else. Mr. Bean. Okay. Correct. One last one. No, it's not Raymond. No, it's not Mintra, not Hitachi. The correct answer is Levi's. Uh, guys, I stop with these annotations of yours. But okay, anyway, correct answer is Levi's. So that was the last one. And again, it's a break time. So I will just tell you, I again have a task for you all to win a pizza. So, but before that, I'll just show you all the QR code and you all can download the app. Here you go. So this is a QR code for Android and iOS. So if you all want to download the app and book sessions with these amazing experts and coaches, you all could scan this QR code and you will be able to do it. I'll give you all 2 minutes. Apart from that, again, like we had the Instagram story thing, I also have one task with LinkedIn now. So the LinkedIn link will be shared by my team in the chat box. I will just share. First, you all do this QR code thing and I'll share all a LinkedIn post. I will post it in front of you all right now. And what you all have to do is just go and comment of what. No, Monty, you cannot get a protein shake for sure not. We will try to keep that for the next session. Don't worry. You should come for the next session. Okay. So about the LinkedIn thing, y'all, I will post a post in front of y'all and y'all just have to go and comment and tell us what did you learn from the session and are you excited about the other one. Okay. So I'll give you all 2 minutes to do the app download thing and then we'll go to the LinkedIn part. Thank you, Karthik. That's really sweet of you to share the link with people if they're not able to use uh, the QR code. So guys, not a very big deal. You just have to comment and tell us what did you learn and are you all excited about the next event. Also, if possible, mention 3 of your friends, tag them in the LinkedIn account. Yes, you can use the hashtag, tag them in the account and let them know about the future sessions. I will just post it right now. I hope you all have downloaded the app and now we'll go to the LinkedIn post. Uh, can you see my screen? Here is the post. I have it ready. I will just post it right now in front of you all. Just give me a second. Yeah, here it is posted. One second. Yes, so the post is up. I will also Team, could you all share the form link, registration link in the chat box? So I will post it on LinkedIn. Guys, you all can start commenting what you all learned. Yes, I will directly share the link with you all, and you all can directly go and comment. This is the link of the LinkedIn post. I will also post a link on the chat box. You all can go and start commenting on the LinkedIn post, and then we have the third speaker here, and we'll go ahead with him. Okay, till then we will we'll invite our next speaker. One second. Okay, I hope all of you all have done it. And if you all want a pizza, you will have to do it and just put good reviews. And even if you don't win, you still have a chance to get the ebook. So don't miss the chance, guys. Okay, so we will start with the screen share again. So we welcome Manjeet sir. Thank you for joining us. And it's really glad to have you here and for a session. Manjeet sir is going to have a session on problem solving. So I will introduce him first a little bit so that you all know what he does. So Mr. Manjeet is the founder and CEO of Clycrotron Technologies, and he also does direct projects at Right Choice. He is an independent director at Rainbow Foundations and managing director of Opera Right Choice Realty. He helps upscale business using Oracle NetSuite ERP and optimize business using Kissflow. His expertise helps in execution of ideas with given constraints. He loves meeting new people because he believes each and every person has something to offer. Apart from that, he's also raising money for real estate architects, contractors, and suppliers. He's also a renowned Clubhouse influencer. So if you all want to connect with him and want to learn a lot about him, you all can join the Clubhouse app. He also is someone who fed a few families in the COVID period and helped them a lot during the time nobody could. He is also looking to build a non-profit organization for pregnant and lactating women. He mentors new business and helps them grow. He also is a part of a digital marketing firm, which is actually, a social media firm which helps digital businesses. So I would like to give it over to Manjeet sir. You can take over, and we're really glad to have you here. Thank you so much for sparing time and coming to talk to these people out here.
Thank you so much, Janvi, for that very warm welcome. And hello, everyone. I see about 58 people are here. Janvi, how long can we go on?
You can go on for 50 minutes in
Oh,
total with the Q&A.
okay, cool. So yeah, so I probably the first half an hour I'd be talking, and the later half we'll make it interactive. I think that's the way I would like to go. So it's wonderful to be here on a Saturday evening, in August. Thank you guys. I see a very diverse crowd here. So I've been tasked here. I mean, I think it's a quite a task to go after Miss Sapna. It was an amazing session. I was there towards the end of it. It's a pleasure being here amongst you again. So, I've been tasked here to talk about problem solving as to talk about problem solving. So problem solving is what all of us are doing day in, day out, whether it's small, big, uh, whatever it is, we continuously problem solving. And you see, the greatest problems that have been solved are what they are the ones driving us as a society, whether it is electricity, whether it is uh, you know uh, mobility, whatever, take everything, take anything today. Solving a problem is the biggest uh, driver of society. We are all here, we're all here going forward only because people have solved various problems at various points in time. So I'm probably going to talk to you because I was told this is a very young crowd, or early adults, or people who are probably looking for a job, or in that early phase of your career. So I will talk to you from a limited experience, not that I'm very old or have been a part of too many interviews, more been on the side of being the interviewer than the interviewee. So I will talk to you from that angle, and if there's anything you want to ask me, you can always put in questions. I will be looking at the chat box too. Not only that, I would also like to, I would like some kind of interaction. If you really like what I'm saying, probably put in your comments. And just to check again with Janvi, is audio okay? Is audio fine?
Yes, sir. Absolutely audible.
Okay, cool. So yeah. So what is problem solving, right? What exactly is problem solving? Let me tell you, my favorite recent example, uh, where we are talking about problem solving on a constant basis. If somebody could tell me what was the problem that Zomato set out to solve, does anybody remember what was the problem Zomato set out to solve? If you can type in quickly, I would like to see those answers. Okay. So Zomato initially was a menu aggregator. I don't know if how many of you all remember that initial version of Zomato. They were purely a menu aggregator. They just wanted to say, hey, you don't have to go to that restaurant. You can just see the menu. Even before they got into delivery, I see Karthik said, get delivery a favorite food. Before that, they were only there only to say that the menu is available, and also be act as a as a person where you could book a table. That was their initial model. Subsequently, they saw Food Panda happen, and then obviously Swiggy, and they said, okay, there's a bigger opportunity in the delivery business, and they pivoted. But and for all we've in the last 1 month or even before that, ever since they've gone public, they've spoken so much about their books and how valuations and books don't sync. But they solved a problem, like Karthik just said. They got my favorite food without me traveling. By the time I could have a shower after a crazy day at work. They solved that simple problem of reaching that food to me, whether it is Swiggy, Zomato, whichever company, right? So they played on that problem of mine, and today they have a business that is today with market cap over 1 lakh crore. And look at where the founders are. They probably are uh, probably in the top 100 richest people in India. So that's the kind of power problem solving has. So in life, we are all solving problems day in, day out, whether you like it or not. we are solving problems all the time. So I'm going to talk to you about how to solve these problems. So how do we start? So define the problem. So what is defining a problem? Uh, you know, Defining a problem initially would be, you take it as fact, not from opinion. So uh, uh, let's say I'm giving you a problem like, how do we solve traffic issues in uh, in Bangalore for that matter. So how do you think we can solve traffic issues in Bangalore? It cannot be opinion based. We can't say roads are small, people are unruly. All that is opinions that we have. Opinions are not going to work. Whereas we need to go down to how wide are our roads. These are facts. How wide are our roads? What is the kind of traffic that goes? I don't know if you guys have noticed on a lot of intersections, you'll find a person who just is sitting and ticking off number of vehicles passing at every signal. These are ways in which you build facts. So this is the problem. Let's say I'm taking the same problem of solving traffic issues. Then you start specifying underlying causes. What are the underlying causes that can be there? Then the causes might be unruliness, not following traffic norms, too many vehicles. All these can be underlying causes. Then you need to see which faction is involved and what is the information we're getting. So for example, many times the moment we talk about traffic, we start saying buses are a problem, autos are a problem, cars are a problem, bikes are a problem. But can you find out which faction is actually causing the problem? Then can we become very specific, saying, hey, these are the areas in this city that need attention. So this is another start, right? So how do you get to that problem in a very, very specific way? As we go forward, I'm probably going to challenge you with a very similar traffic oriented problem, but let me start. So then we start, once you define this problem, when we know, there can be a solution, you start saying, how do we generate solutions? Now, once you start generating solutions, it's not one solution, right? We need multiple solutions because sometimes one solution might not be the answer. And most of us being here from with a maths background or an engineering background, we know that there are multiple solutions to each and every question or each and every problem that's thrown to us. So how do we create these alternatives? So we take multiple individuals to suggest, then we create organizational goals, right? Whether it is how do we create a structure to this? Who can be involved? Can we get specialists inside? Can we get the naysayers? Can we get people who have already worked in this area? And let's look at what are the short-term alternatives, short-term solutions, long-term solutions. So for example, a short-term solution might be create a one-way. A long-term solution might be build a bridge, build an overbridge. One of the biggest, most long-term solutions with a say a change in behavior would be create MRTS. Okay? The only way a country like India is going to solve a problem for traffic is going to be through mass rapid transport systems. And where can we learn from? We can learn from Singapore, right? Singapore is there. Singapore is a beautiful place where we see that the MRTS has taken the country forward. In a country like Singapore, if you had as much traffic as Bangalore, the city country won't even function. Now you start evaluating, saying, okay, what are the options? Like I just gave you three options. Can I create a one-way? Can I create a bridge? Can I create the MRTS? Now look at these three different things. The cheapest option to the government is to create a one-way. Or create one-ways, make people go around about, probably end up spending more time, but that is the cheapest alternative. Then let's look at the next alternative. Can I put a bridge? What is the cost of putting a bridge? What is the impact in that in-between period, right? Say for about 15, 16 months, what's going to happen? How am I going to handle it in that interim period? So that is one thing that can happen. So then what else can I do? Or if I have to create MRTS, that probably is the most costly option, right? Because I'll have to pick up space, I'll have to acquire public areas. There's going to be a huge impact in terms of implementation. Now, once now that I've spoken to implement it, how do I implement it? What is the plan? Can I have a test session? Can I test it out? How do I validate it? how do I gather feedback? Like I don't know if you guys have come across most cities when they set out to set up, a large plan, they will call for a city meeting, like a town hall meeting, where they talk about the problems, they talk about, uh, they get political people, they get people from the opposition, they get people from the city unions, they get people from other specialities, and they get feedback from all these people, and then what they do is they set out to seek acceptance or consensus. So if you, for example, I'll give you an example again from what happened in the city of Chennai, where I belong. So long back, Chennai being a semicircular city, we half of our city is in the sea. So back then, one of the prior chief ministers wanted to create a monorail system in Chennai, again copying Singapore. But the IIT Madras said it's not viable, because the viability was at question because we are not circular, we are semicircular. So that was an issue that was back then. But subsequently, 10 years from then, Chennai also, we could accommodate a metro rail system. So is there acceptance? Is there consensus? Can we get the experts to certify our idea? How do we monitor whether this idea is going to be working? And obviously, like I said, at last, it is long-term results of the solution that we find. So this is like a very, very simple intro that I gave you, right? So this is how you create problems. So now what am I looking at in each of you when I want you to solve a problem, or what are we building today in each and every one of you as engineers or even doctors for that matter, or even as management students. I'm guessing there's a large crowd of management students right here. So what are we looking at? We're looking at creativity, right? How can I create intuitive, systemic solutions, solutions that you and I can be very, very proud of? Like I just gave you the example of Zomato, and my friends here told me better delivery of food. Can we reduce wastage? Look at these other benefits. I mean, because of Zomato, probably businesses, restaurants are doing more business. And one of the, again, coming back to Zomato or Swiggy, the biggest idea that Swiggy or Zomato sold to each of those restaurants is that, hey, every dining table in this city is a dining table in your restaurant. Imagine I'm a restaurateur and I have only 1,000 square feet, and I can probably put in about, say, about 40 people in a restaurant in 1,000 square feet. But the moment I am attached to Swiggy or Zomato or any of these food delivery apps, every table in the city is a table of mine. So that is the kind of creative solution I'm looking at. I'm trying to look at a macro level solution. So intuition is, again, when it's not only about knowledge, it's about knowledge in application, right? So I have the idea, but if I'm not applying it, it becomes very difficult. So again, the other angle about this is about why did these guys raise money? They have decided to solve the problem, but they have to do it quickly. Otherwise, each restaurant is going to build its own app and say, hey, I will have, like, take for example, we all have Domino's Pizza app, right? So they also built a solution, but eventually they are also on Swiggy and Zomato. So take this example. How can I create a solution that is also going to be very, very quick? How can I use common sense to solve the problem? And the more complex problems, they can be sorted out with a lot of simple ideas. It's basically all of us were taught flowchart. So if you can actually flowchart this, you can break it down. Now, after creativity, I'll come to the next major thing that I look at as an employer, right? So I look at researching skills. So if I'm not able to research, like I just told you, what if I had created apps, but the market was not as robust as it is today? Imagine there were not enough people who had Android phones, or they didn't have iPhones, or they didn't have the platform to do it. It is in today's generation and date that everyone, you, me, and your grandmother have an iPhone or an Android phone, and we are using apps like nobody's business. So it also, that kind of research is necessary. How do we solve this problem? Is my solution accessible? So we need to get to that. So this is the number two thing I look at. Next, coming back to teamwork, right? So there's a lot of teamwork that's necessary in building up solutions. Zomato was not built overnight. I mean, none of these apps, none of the systems, they evolved with the ecosystem, whether it was Android or iOS. They had those kind of pressures. They had governmental pressures. They had so many things happening. They had, like, taking again the example, they had issues from restaurants. They had issues from the delivery partners. They had so many things, and one of the biggest probably issues that they had faced on a day in day out basis was the quality and quantity of food, or the kind of negative feedback that they were getting. So now how do you face this? This is when your solution has to be emotionally intelligent. How many I can take a bet now, I see about 50 people plus on this room, and all these people have probably reported at least once their food wasn't great or the delivery experience wasn't great. What did Zomato or Swiggy do then? They became emotionally intelligent. They wanted to keep you inside the system, and that was, they started recognizing your emotions, and how you will how can I keep you within the system? They made you happy with coupon codes, they gave you bank offers, they probably changed your food, they probably refunded the whole amount. So these were ways in which they issued coupons, they started with a great offer and things like that. uh, Now coming back to this, now there is a lot of risk involved, right? The moment I start giving you great offers and then I bring it down, I see Sanket, thank you for that answer. So I give you a great offer, and today I've given you a great offer, say on I give you 50% off today on every bill. Saturday night, everybody, we are, touch wood, getting out of the lockdown, everybody party. uh, all I want you to do is take a selfie with the food that I sent you. I'll give you 50% off, or I'll issue a coupon for 50% on your next order. So now, when this happens, there's a lot more risk that I'm taking, right? There can be fake stuff. For example, me, Nandini, Sajjad, Priya, Sanket, Sahana, all can be in the same household, order one dish each, and put pictures of 10 dishes and all get 50%. This is a risk. This is this is where I start burning money. My churn becomes heavy. So these are things that can happen now. So I need to start thinking, the moment I create a problem solving solution, I also start thinking about risk. What is the risk that I'm facing? What is the risk that is being thrown at me? So this is another key factor that I look at as a problem solving aspect. And then you come down to, at last, what I look at is, how do I make a decision? Now I spoke about 6 things, right? I spoke about creativity, I spoke about researching, I spoke about teamwork, I spoke about emotional intelligence, I spoke about risk. And now I come down to decision making. So now I have multiple solutions. Now my friends here, 2 people gave me 2 different solutions. Sanket told me we will give them a great offer and then start reducing the offers. Sahana said, let's issue coupons so that I bring them in for the next sale. Then I can come up with another solution saying, hey, why don't I give them free food? First time, order anything, any value, I give it to you free. But this is a decision that I need to do collectively, right? I need to bring all the stakeholders into the system. I'm using this example so that you understand very, very easily. So these are multiple ways in which we we look at, right? So what happens now? I've done all of this, and now I want my value. So how do you, again, now that I told you what I look for, now I want you guys to start taking a little bit of notes as to what you can do when it comes to problem solving. So one of the things that you can do when it comes to problem solving is taking initiative. So what is taking initiative? You are thrown a problem, you write down the problem. I mean, one of my favorite things is I probably create a fishbone, or I make a mind map of the problem. I write it down, I scribble, I take an A4 sheet, fold it, and put different problems into different boxes. I try to create a structure, a flow chart. uh, Again, Sanket says, getting to know what the customer wants. Sometimes, uh, now that Sanket says that, imagine I'm selling a toy. When I'm selling a toy, it's not my customer is somebody else, my user is somebody else. My customer is actually the parent. So I need to start thinking about pricing, practicality, and a lot of things for the parent. But actually, my user experience, my the touch and feel, everything goes to a child. So you need to start evaluating such things also. As Sanket said that, I remembered this. So you take the initiative, see who are the stakeholders, what action is necessary, what action, when is it necessary, and start looking for those opportunities and differentiate it. So how do I differentiate it? See, many times I keep one of my, again, favorite examples when it comes to problem solving. Uh, even I don't know how many of you all used the Nokia phone back then. Probably you saw your parents use the Nokia phone. I was a big Nokia fan. I still remember having a Nokia 5110 followed by a 3310 followed by a 6610. And when these phones came out, I would vouch my life that I wouldn't change. Uh, I would vouch my life. I would say no, I won't change my phone. I won't move away from Nokia. But what eventually happened, they forgot to innovate. They never took us seriously. And I probably in between used a Sony Ericsson P910 or something, which was a very fancy phone back then. And then eventually moved to iPhone, and there's been no looking back. So, this is the kind of thing I mean by initiative, saying, hey, be willing to change. We are not done today. Nokia is not even a company today. Probably, I mean, they're a company, but operating in a different sphere. And today, I don't know if I'll again go back and buy another Nokia. Although I do still have a 3310 for the fun of it. I have it as a second phone. And you start evolving, you start getting the message out. So next comes creative thinking. Creative thinkers are the disruptors. I told you how to go about it. They're original thinkers. They're unorthodox about what they do. They don't want to do the normal. Uh, Take for example, again, taking the example of phones. How many I don't know how many of you used the touchscreen or the first generation phones. It was a mess. I mean, people who used touchscreens initially, we used to feel sorry for ourselves, right? Reaction times were crazy. It would take 10 seconds. I would rather type a message on a text keyboard than scribble on the screen. So many things happened. Next, so you need to make the whole solution more resourceful. You can't just be saying, oh no, this is how I will make it, and this is the limitations of the system. No, we have to be more resourceful and then bring in analytical thinking. What works? Eventually, if you saw, there was at one point of time we came to touch phones, but we went back to keyboard phones with a larger screen. So that also happened. Then we need to be determined, saying what is the firmness, what is the purpose of creating the solution. Like I sell ERPs for a living. Okay, I mean that's one of my core businesses other than real estate. So what happens if I sell an ERP to a company and tell them, boss, this is going to cost you 20% of your 20% of your revenues, but the gain in process is going to be 60%. That is when they're going to be determined to buy. That is when they're going to be determined to be persistent with me. Otherwise, convincing these guys is going to be very, very difficult. Imagine me, I'll give you another very random example. Imagine putting up a luxury bungalows inside Dharavi. You're not going to be able to sell. The people who can afford it are not going to buy. The people who are there are not going to be able to come and afford it either. So this is a mix. So you need to be determined, find the purpose, firmness of purpose, be resolute, and then give that solution in a persistent way and be very result oriented. Why are we creating solutions? So that people can get to get to the solution. And now I'm gonna, as we come, I think I'm coming close to the end. I'm gonna ask you guys a question. uh, Imagine, this is a question that's commonly asked. uh, Imagine if I ask you a question like, it's about 6:56 ist. How many, on a Saturday evening, how many people do you think are using the horn, as in the horn on their vehicle currently? This, it's an open question to all the 51 people out here. How many people are currently using the horn in India? I'll give you guys a minute. I'll keep it going till 6:58. I'm going to keep it open. I want to see answers. I want to see answers, and I will tell you how to solve that problem. Okay, I think Sanket wants me to repeat that. Uh, okay, all that I'm asking you is how many people are currently in India, not even the world, in India. Just take how many people are using the horn currently. There are no right or wrong answers, but yes, I would like to see a few answers. I do see a few answers already. I'll probably at 6:58 start uh, giving you an answers. Okay, it's 6:58, and I have a bunch of answers. I'm going to read with your permission. Uh, Juhi was the first one to answer, and she said a few lakh. Okay. Priya says every employee is coming back from office. Ronnie says 5 million. Montec says sampling is amazing. That's somewhere I'm going to get to. Karthik here says 30% of those who are driving. Gagan says not accurately, but in millions. Priya says 50%. Sajid says 25% of the driving population. Sanket says everyone who's driving. Anil is those who follow traffic rules. Vanilla says 50 to 60%. Priya says 50% of driving people. AK says 5632210. Interesting, AK. Uh, that's you're being very specific. So okay, I'll give you how we can how I would like you all to think. Okay, so and I want to see how many of you all thought like that, because I see a lot of people. We see 5 million to about some people saying 25%, many people saying 50-60%, and my friend AK here says 5632210. So 5632210 is 56 lakh 32,210. Now I'll take that as an answer. Okay, so let me say I have 100 crore population in India. That is the total number of vehicles. Let's say in this 100 crore vehicles that are playing on the road. I'm just breaking it down, not stating any fact. I'm just giving you a very fair idea, and I'm going to arrive at AK's number, right? So the idea is I have 100 crore vehicles, and lockdown, weekend, so many people are not going to be there. Uh, I'm saying only today only 50% of the population are using their vehicles. 50% are just chilling at home or doing whatever, or they somewhere the car is at home or the vehicle is at home. So from 100 crores, I've come down to 50 crores. Now in 50 crores, I'm again taking another assumption. See, when I do it, actually I will be taking facts, but I'm going by opinion. Now what I'm saying, in my belief, in this 50 crores, I think about 30% are only inside the city, or about 30 crore people are only in the cities. So my assumption is that 20 crore vehicles are in rural areas, and that 20 crore vehicles probably don't use the horn. I'm taking only 30 crores as my sample, or I brought it down to 30 crores. In this 30 crores, again, I believe that another 10 crore are on highways. Only 20 crores are within the city, in cities currently. So now I brought down that sample to 20 crores. Now in 20 crores, again, I'm straight away discounting another 15 crores, saying 15 crores are probably in residential areas, they're in quiet areas, probably there's no traffic, uh, probably there's no necessity to honk. And now I brought it down to 5 crores. Now 5 crores of vehicles in critical areas, 5 crores in areas that are trafficy, that are busy, that are probably in shopping areas. Saturday, I don't know, many markets are open currently, there are malls that are open. But now what I'm saying, in that 5 crore, there are only 10% or slightly more. Okay, let me take 1 crore people who are in really, really tough situations. And now I'll come to Sanket has just told me probably many vehicles don't have a working on. So this whole thing of I've come down to about 10 crores, right? So, or 5 crores. So now from 5 crore, I'm bringing it to 1 crore where are in traffic situations. This 1 crore, I am saying 60 lakh people are, 60 lakh people are not, are really impatient. They are not, they are not in a mood to listen, but they all want to honk and make a scene and all this. So this is what happening. But then what is happening in that 3,67,790 people, horn is not working, like Sanket said. And I've come to a AKS number of 56,32,210. This is just a very, very, very casual way in which I broke down a large problem. And many times this is exactly what we expect. We don't want to expect an answer. We expect a pattern of how you will break down a large, unfathomable problem into a problem that you can digest. So I asked this question, I think around 6:55. In 8 minutes, I gave you a solution. Each of you would have thought of a different solution. Each of you would have thought, first thing you would have thought is, oh my God, this guy who's talking, Zzoko has brought an idiot. How the hell does he expect me to, solve this problem? The next, then we started seeing these answers. Each of you would have thought of a different solution. Then subsequently, what happened? I started breaking it down for you, and I picked a random number. I did not pick a number that I had in mind. I picked AK's answer. So you start breaking down a solution, and once you start beating this solution, and start making things, everything will keep changing. So try to get to this idea as to how it is happening. So this is how you get to problem solving, right? And what are we again looking in, like I was telling you, what are we looking at? We're looking at that whether what is the initiative you're taking. So out of these 50 people, about 5 people answered. So they took an initiative. How did they think? Were they resourceful? Did they apply analytical thinking skills, right? So then, and they were determined, and whether we were result oriented. That's the last thing I got to. I was also telling you, did I have a result at the end of it? So many times, now that we'll come back to interviewing, problem solving, we keep asking these as behavioral interview questions, right? We ask them saying, we are trying to, when we do this, what are we trying to see? Are you a team player? How good is your communication? Can you manage time? Do you have leadership skills? There's an adaptability issue. Can you adapt to the problem? Can you resolve conflict? Imagine we had 5 different answers, and everybody the same thing happened in a room and 5 people are fighting. No, I am doing 50%. I'm telling you it's only 25%. I'm only saying no, it's only this number. So when we start questioning you like this, I'll ask you, can you give me an example of how this happened? Tell me about a time when you faced such a question. What do you do when such a thing pops up? Or describe a situation. You would have heard these things. Or most of you would have heard, I'll ask you, give me an example of time when you probably created a solution. So what happens when I ask you these questions, right? Why as an interviewer, I ask you these. I want to see, are you result oriented? Are you proactively involved? Are you getting involved? How are you contributing? So let's say my team, everybody is saying 25 to 50%, but now my friend AK said 56,32,210 people. Now that intrigues me. So he's thinking differently. Then can I add you to this team to see that you're a self-starter, and you're going to increase my team performance? Or are you just going to be another burden on me where I tell you, do this, do that, hey, what is happening? So these are things, and why am I doing this, right? So I don't want to make a bad hiring decision. I want you to at least think like me, if not better than me, because we can't create a system. So these are ways in which we make hiring decisions. Then there is a specific detail of your behavior. One more piece of advice, guys. Many times what happens, the moment I start talking about a question like this, what happens? We tend to go blank, and that is a reaction that I don't want to see. So that's why I try to check your past behavior, and I want to avoid having a wrong hiring decision, because generally a wrong hire, it is not a one day decision, right? You're going to be in my system, and I'm going to I'm going to pay you to actually stick around. So coming back to this whole thing. So just as we go towards the end, I don't want, as we're talking about this red flags, or when as an interviewer, what am I looking at? I want you to ask me more questions. Like I gave you guys a problem. Nobody asked me what is the sample size, sir. What is the assumption? What are we assuming? What is the opinion? What is the fact? Which country are we in? I mean, I did mention India, but things like that. Similarly, don't give canned responses, like oh, I dealt with this in this way. No, I don't want that. I want a specific answer. Focus on the problem, not solution, because many times, especially in a country like India, where we are very, 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 very trained to answer, we are not trained to solve problems. We are trained to answer. Oh, this person asked me this. So when I ask all you guys in this room, how are you? You'll straight away say fine. You will not talk about you will not talk about many things. So you will not talk about many things. So these are problems that you're going to see. So we want problem based. What is the problem? Are you understanding the problem? Not solution based. So first understand the problem. Don't get too stressed. Generally, whenever I run an interview, it's when this problem solving happens that people get stressed or they get uncomfortable. uh, be careful there, because that's one of the, and at the same time failing to respond effectively. I just told you, how are you? I am fine is not an effective response. I want something more. I'm engaging with you. So similarly, take a problem, take it very specifically, listen very attentively, and take some responsibility, so that, oh, okay, this is what you asked, sir. How can I get to this? So many times you can also ask a hypothetical question again to me, saying, sir, what is the basis of you asking this question, right? Many people here, I threw the question to you and you all wanted to answer, but what if you could have very, 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 very calmly asked me, sir, what is the basis of your question? Why do you want to do this analysis? And then I will be floored. I will think, okay, this person is actually trying to understand what is happening from a very different angle. So like, again, going back, research, put it down on paper, write down whether we have the skills, the competencies, the experience. What is, have you been faced with a similar thing before? What are the, has somebody else faced this? And I'll leave you at last with you guys can probably Google this. It's called the star interview technique. It's a star method where I give you a situation, then a task, then an action, and the result happens. So if you go through this, you'll have a lot of understanding of how to solve problems and the benefits of what I am getting out of the star technique method. So thank you. And yeah, Sanket, what do you think? I like Sanket's question here. I think all of you all can see it. What do you think about glass is half full or half empty? I think on a Saturday evening, it's missing the other part. And I will end with that. I would love to take more questions, and I hope you enjoyed this session. I had a wonderful time, and we probably have, I think, another 5 minutes, if I'm right, Janvi, for questions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Okay, so we have another 5 questions, and it's been amazing being here. I hope I didn't bore you too much on a Saturday evening. And as so, okay, business here, how to assume particulars and what. Okay, Gagan has a question. I read somewhere about television sales in India in a business year. How to assume particulars and what's the particular method to use here? Gagan, there's a lot of information. You can very well take an assumption that the number of households, and you can very, very clearly say there's one TV per household, and you can say generally in most households we replace a television in say about 7 to 8 years or 10 years. So every 10 years we add a TV, unless there's a drastic change in technology. So you can say 10% of all households in India will at least change one television, and that will be our minimal sales. That's one way of coming up with the answer. There might be more specifics. This this kind of data you might have to correlate to cities, you might have to correlate to rural and urban areas. What is the frequency of TV change is a metric that you will get publicly. And then I think Sanket, think ahead of time, don't see solution for today, see the solution which can last for a long time. Yes, Sanket, that's what I told you. There are short-term solutions, there are long-term solutions. Thank you.
We have one more question. The person asked that the thing you use, like the method you use, is similar to the guesstimate method.
Yes, this is a guesstimate, right? I just broke it down. So I'm only trying to, use a sample size or use a guesstimate method to break it down, to make it chunkable, right? So now the way I did it, you can process information now. What happens when you're thrown a very big, large problem, it becomes very difficult. But when I can chunk it down and validate it in small intervals, it becomes very, very easy. Like, okay, Priya Verma said, is asking, is it important to reply the question? I mean the exact answer, because we don't have a calculator while answering. So normally we just guess, right? So yeah, use percentage, Priya. Here, what happened, since AK gave me that 56,32,210, I brought it to that. You can say 5%, 2%, 0.1%. So, or make it very easy, right? Take a number like 1 crore. Now 1 crore, 1% is 1 lakh. You say 0.1% is still 10,000 people. So use simple numbers, just break it down and use simple numbers. Always when you assume, take whole numbers, say 10 crore, say 1 crore, say 100 crore, then you're breaking it down becomes easy. Like I started with 100 crore, brought it down to 56,32,000. So it was just a way I sampled it. I broke the funnel down. So how do you funnel it? You choose, particularly percentage. Sometimes people want a number, give them a number, but I would always go with percentage. So that's the way you work, because sometimes when you're not using percentage, again, I can start cross questioning you. So I would still use percentage. Yeah.
So we'll see if we have more questions. Yeah. No, everybody just thanking you for being so great and telling about. No, there's one more. Should a person take extra time to find an optimal solution, or less time and coming up with less optimal solution?
So again, this depends, Montek. It depends on, see, if it's an interview situation, I would be like, now I told you, right, 6:56 to 6:58, I gave you time. I might give you just 2 minutes to come up with a solution. But whereas when it's a real life business like solution, I would like you to take more time and come up with those 3 solutions, right? The 3 solutions: the short term, the medium term, the long term, the low cost, the medium cost, the high cost, all solutions. Consider everything in principle, and we'll have to look at everything, right? So if you ask me, let's say I'm your boss and I'm saying, hey, Montek, give me a proposal. You're already inside the company, but I tell you, Montek, I think our site has to be rejigged. What do you have to say? Should we go for a completely new site? Should we only update the content, or should we just keep the content and change the the look and feel of the website? I want a solution that is more, I would like you to evaluate it in 3 ways and tell me what is the cost, what is the timeline, what is the what is the kind of impact. So sometimes your user experience can become a fail. My current site can feel brilliant, people love the site of feel of my site, but then I might fail at getting fresh customers inside. So if you actually see, I don't know how many of you all know, most of the e-commerce sites will display different versions to different people. So the same 40 odd people here, we will see different versions of the same website. Or 10 people might see 4 different websites, and they'll see where people were more tempted to order and things like that, and then make a decision. So that is the power of using digital and data also. So these are advantages that can be, that's how you probably put each of these guys, segment them, bucket them, and then work. So that's one of the answers.
No,
Okay.
I don't think we have any more. We'll give them a minute if they still have any questions, and then
I
we'll
think
take it.
Sanket has a question. So he says, so if there's an event where everyone is suggested to honk one time, same problem as yours, but different situation, how many of them honk? So if there's an event where everyone is suggested to honk one time. So again, Sanket, you're here, you'll have to assume which location they are, right? So let me just understand this question. So in a day, I can only honk once. It will depend on where I am at that point in time and how can I actually honk, or do I, how rational am I going to be in using that one honk that I have for that day? So when you, it's like saying I have only one wish. How do I use that one wish only, right? I should know exactly when I can use that wish. So you'll have to probably take a different stand. Say, okay, this is where people might be having a problem with honking, and that is when they will use they will use that opportunity to honk. So there's a slightly different way in approaching that question, Sanket. So you'll have to think on another line. Over to you, Janvi.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for asking those amazing questions. And thank you, Manjeet sir. A great thank you from Zoko's team. We connected you a little late and you agreed to join in. And a wonderful topic and very insightful. Thank you so much. And we would want more sessions from you. Thank you. That really means a lot to all of us.
Thank you, Janvi, for having me here. I see Saili also is here, and I see a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, hats off to the whole team at Zoko. I see Bharat, Ujjwal, Bharti, Palak, if I got your name right, and all of you amazing people, and to all the 40 odd participants here, wishing you all the very best in your careers, in business, in life, and uh, you can connect with me. Manjit Motiram is my LinkedIn. I would love to connect with you guys, and I am at Manjit on Clubhouse. I love to. I mean, probably Janvi, if you're going to have some sessions with all these amazing people here, I would love to interact with them. Probably hear them out also. So
Surely.
thank you guys, and I'm
Thank
probably
you. Thank you again.
at Manjit is my Facebook too, or preferably LinkedIn, and I'm at Manjit even on Clubhouse. So I should thank Clubhouse now for actually connecting me to Janvi, and thank you guys. I would have loved to make a longer presentation, but there was some kind of logistics today. It was a busy day. Again, thanks again, and thank you, Janvi. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you once again. And we would love to have you again very soon. Thanks again. Okay. I hope all of you guys love the sessions. So I will just release the names of the winners who we had for LinkedIn and Instagram. We're done with all the 3 sessions. So I will take you all the names. Just give me a minute. And you all have to just put right pizza name, PIZZANAME if you all are here. Okay. I will tell you 1 second. Okay, so the winner for LinkedIn is Montek Singh. Montek, if you are here, you need to put a pizza name, write pizza name in the chat box. This is the first winner for LinkedIn. I'm not sure if he's here. Okay, and the second winner would be Priya V. She's a student of JIP University. Are you here, Priya V? Montek, it's okay. I got it that you're here. No worries. A team, you all have to, yeah, Priya Verma. Great. Both of these people are here. So congrats, both of you. We'll just put an ID over here and you all have to, yeah, just see this. You have to give your name, contact number, and complete address on this email ID so that we can send you a pizza. You will receive it today itself. Now I will go to the Instagram ones. For Instagram, we have Abhinav Mathur and Shimli. I think that's her name. Yes. Abhinav Mathur and Shimli. Guys, are you here? Just write Instagram if you're are. Shimli. Great, Shimli. Glad. And is Abhinav Mathur here? Great, great. Thank you, all of you 4 people. Just send the details to that mail so that you receive the pizza soon. And thank you for being such a great audience. Now, I again have one more surprise for everybody who's still attending. Just give me a second. Okay, so I hope you all loved all the sessions that we had. Apart from that, we have a really big surprise for you. Like I mentioned before, Zoko is about for the people, by the people. Hence, we had this event for the people because we believing in helping people and bringing them great knowledge. So we have a surprise for you, and that is this. We are going to have a 15-day personal development challenge, or you could call it personal growth challenge, which will help you to be a better version of yourself. We will drop a WhatsApp group link in the chat box and you all can join it. All 15 days, this challenge starts from Monday. All the 15 days, me and my team will be giving you small tasks wherein you can do it basic tasks on self development, being creative, being focused, being positive, self love, self development, self pampering, all of these kind of challenges. And it will be very minor, like doing a good thing any day or trying something new, and all of these. So it's going to be a 15-day challenge, which is again free of cost. Like we said, we want to help people grow, and that's the motive of Zoko. So if you all are interested, the chat link, the WhatsApp group link will be in the chat box soon. You all can join in, and also let your friends know if they really want to be a part of it. Because it's going to be a really great challenge, and I can assure you, after the 15 days, you will be like a new individual. You will be growing personally and will be more focused. So this is the surprise. And apart from that, if you all want more updates about the upcoming events, and we are going to host many sessions and many challenges online as well, like the pizza one today. We're going to have many competitions on our social media sites, so make sure you follow them. The link again will be in the bio. Sorry, I'm so sorry, will be in the chat box now. The WhatsApp group link, the Telegram group link, the Instagram, and the LinkedIn link, so you all can join that. And thank you so much for all of you attending here. It was really, really glad to have you all here. And you all can also download the app, like we said, if you all want personal sessions by these coaches. So thank you again. Thank you so much for all of you people. It's been great. And just put me a thumbs up in the chat box if you like the sessions. And of course, you have to fill the feedback form. It's also in the chat box. So make sure you fill the right form and enter the right, like there are too many links. So make sure you enter the right one. Feedback form is super necessary if you all want an e-certificate. So make sure you fill the feedback form. And please, please follow us on social media so that you all can be part of great challenges and win more pizzas, more books, and other gifts. And make sure you join the 15-day personal growth challenge. I can assure you, you will grow individually. And of course, if you all like this session, please spread the word. Tell your friends about it. This was the first day of our event. We have more 7 days to go, and we have more 21 speakers. So I am sure you will get many insights from them and some free sessions by them as well. So you all can download the Zzoko app, follow us on our social media, and hope to see you for the next sessions. And there are great gifts for you all to you all can join our groups, and the moment you get updates, there are going to, like I said, there are going to be challenges. And if you're promoted to your friends, this is one thing I forgot, I'm really sorry. If you all promoted your friends, you all can take a code, like you all can make your own promo code, and you all can, if your friends join by those promo codes, we will also be giving you special prizes. So you all can do that. Just take the Google form link, and when you all forward the message to people, make sure that they register through your promo code, and we will track that and we will send you personal gifts. So that's all for today. Hope all of you loved it, and I will give you 2 to 4 minutes to do all of the process which has been mentioned in the chat box, and then I will end the meeting. It was really glad to having all of you. And guys, if you all are doing the process, just put a thumbs up so that I know you all have completed and I'll end the meeting. Yes, Sahana, his name is not there because actually we got him a little later. So we're sorry about that, but you know him. So you can go to our Instagram post. His all IDs are mentioned there, and Instagram or LinkedIn, and you could connect with him there. We also have a big surprise for you all next week. So stay tuned for that as well. I am really sure like you love the pizza one today. It's going to be much, much bigger than this. So yes, so surprise is okay. It's better I reveal you all the surprise so that you all be interested. We are going to have a gold medal Olympic winner with us to speak on the panel. So if you all are interested and would, sorry, a bronze medal. I'm really sorry about that. A bronze medal winner. So you all can join and you all can talk to them. You might get a chance to ask them some questions personally. And of course, congratulate them for whatever they've done for all of us. They've made the country proud. So it's time for coming here and supporting them and getting to know how their journey has been. So once again, thank you all of you guys. You all really made our day by attending this session, and keep coming for all the 7 days. And we hope to see you and be more comfortable with you guys. So in that case, I think it is 29. I will end by 1931. You all can take 2 minutes more to do all the process. You all can join the WhatsApp group. So in case if you all have missed any of the processes, we would be posting everything there. So by any chance, if you all miss it, you all can do it from there. Yes, Vanilla, you can make your own promo code. Just make sure it could be any format. Like for example, Vanilla, so VEN03, something like that. Um, okay, wow, Sanket, you told your mom not to make pizza because you're having pizza. Oh, bad luck, but keep trying. You might get the next time, so don't worry. Yes, Vanilla. So it could be VEN20, something like that. Just make sure that your friends join through that, and you might receive gifts. Good, Shimli, great. And all the 4 people who won pizza, congratulations, and please keep coming. And of course, one request: if when you'll receive the pizza, just post the story and tag us and let people know how was your experience and how was it all. Uh, and of course, if you all are in college, if you all are college students and you like the information we provide, you all could connect with the colleges or send us their numbers, or you all could yourself connect with them and tell them to bring more students. This was just the start. There are going to be more sessions which will be really beneficial for students, and a lot of ebooks, insights which you students might need in the future world. So make sure that you all promote in your college, talk to the training and placement cell head, or just forward their details to us on Instagram or WhatsApp group or anywhere, and we'll make sure we're done. So I will end on that note. It's 9:31. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We will like to have you back. Good night. Have a great evening, you guys.